The first question asked by Mrs. Abramson was, where have you been living for the last 3.5 years? Isn't that right?
Yes, it was.
And you've been in the men's central jail?
Yeah, the LA County Jail.
Now, you and your brother killed your parents over 4 years ago, correct?
Yeah, over 4 years ago.
On August 20th, 1989, you and your brother, as your brother testified, burst into the family room of your Beverly Hills mansion. Is that right?
Yes.
Now, you surprised your parents while they were watching television and blasted them until your pump shotguns were empty of ammunition, correct?
Objection, Ms. States the evidence.
Overruled.
No, sir.
Did you burst into the family room?
Yes, we burst into the family room, but they weren't watching TV.
What were they doing?
They were standing when I saw them. They weren't watching TV.
Both of your parents were standing?
Yes.
Where were they standing?
Behind the coffee table in front of the couch.
Did you see them rising to their feet?
No, I couldn't see well in the room, but I never saw them rising.
Who was on the right and who was on the left?
Facing them,
Yes.
my dad was on the right, past the coffee table, and my mom was on the left.
Now, in direct examination, you've been saying that you saw two figures, correct?
Yes.
You knew it was your mother and father, isn't that right?
I knew it was my mother and father. I couldn't see their faces. I couldn't see exactly who they were until after they were dead, but I knew that it was them.
Was the television set on?
Yes.
Was there light coming from the television set?
Yes.
So you saw who you were shooting,
Well, I knew it was my parents.
and in particular, you knew you were shooting at your mother.
I don't even remember. I don't think so.
You don't think that you knew you were shooting at your mother?
When I was shooting, I wasn't thinking at who I was shooting at.
Where did you aim your gun?
Just right in front of me as soon as I walked in the room. And I wasn't thinking this person's here, this person's there. Whoever was in the room, wherever they were, I was shooting at.
Were you closing your eyes when you were shooting?
No.
You were looking at what you were shooting at.
I suppose.
Now, you've testified here that as a youngster, you walked in your sleep. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, I did many times.
Are you telling these juries that you were sleepwalking when you shot your parents?
No, I was awake. It's just that as soon as I went into the room, the gun went off and there was fire, there was smoke, and I didn't. It was so chaotic that I just didn't. I don't have a great memory of it.
Now, you entered the room first, correct?
Yes.
Now, you say the gun went off. Did you fire that gun?
No, I fired the gun.
Now, you shot until your gun was no longer loaded, correct?
I shot everything I had.
And then, what did you hear or see after you had finished firing all of your ammunition?
I heard a noise coming from what was my mom.
Now, you've described noises in direct examination. Would you describe for these jurors the noise that you heard coming from your mother?
I don't even remember what the noise was. I know that I heard it because I ran out of the room just to get away from there. But I can't even tell you what it was.
Did you describe to Dr. Oziel that it was moaning coming from your mother as she was trying to crawl?
No, I never said that. I read that in his notes. I did tell him she was trying to crawl. I found that out from my brother afterwards when I talked about it. But I didn't see anyone crawling in that room.
Would you describe for the jury what sound you heard? How would you characterize that sound?
Overruled.
I guess I would characterize it as a moaning simply because she was dying, and that's what freaked me out, and I just wanted to get away. But I can't remember how it was or the way it was.
Was your mother crying?
No, it wasn't a crying sound.
You indicated that your father said no as you entered and started to shoot.
Yes.
Did your mother ever say anything?
No, she never said a word.
She didn't have a chance to say anything?
I guess not.
Now, you said that you were freaked out when you heard this noise, this moan from your mother.
Yes.
Is that right? And you're so freaked out that you went to your car and you had the ammunition box and you're pulling out ammunition so that when your brother came, you handed him ammunition. Isn't that right?
No, that's not why I ran to the car. As soon as that happened, I just got out of there and I just ran, and I ran out toward the car. And as soon as Lyle got there, then we started scrambling for shells.
As soon as Lyle got there, didn't he testify that you handed him a cartridge?
I did.
So you had been in the car and you're pulling out ammunition when you got to the car. You got to the car first, correct?
We got there at basically the same time.
So you went directly for the ammunition, didn't you?
No, that's not what I was thinking. As soon as I ran out of the room, I just ran, and I can't answer your question. I can't answer the thoughts that were going through my mind at that time.
Where was the ammunition located in your car?
The ammunition was in the trunk of the car.
The trunk.
Yes.
So you went to the trunk of the car and opened up the trunk.
No, the trunk was already open.
You had left it open?
Yes.
And you went to the back of the car and you went to get the ammunition and you handed the ammunition to your brother.
At that point, I definitely was scrambling around for shells and handing it to my brother.
Why?
Because I knew that he was going to go back in the room.
You left the room first, correct?
I guess so, yes.
And you took your gun with you.
Yes.
How would you know that your brother would return to put the coup de grace into your mother?
Objected for the testimony.
Rephrase the question.
I didn't know what my brother would...
Rephrase the question, please.
How did you know, as you ran out of that room after you heard your mother moan and apparently try to crawl, how did you know that Lyle, your brother, would return to finish killing her off?
Objection for the testimony since that.
Overruled.
I didn't see her crawling. When I left that room, I just wanted to get out of there, and I ran outside. And when Lyle came, that's when we went to the back of the car. And at that point, I knew what was going to happen.
Without any words spoken, you knew that your brother...
There were no words spoken.
There were no words spoken.
No.
And you were in there, in the trunk of your car, getting the ammunition already, correct?
Already when?
Before Lyle arrived at your car.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
So you were standing there doing what?
Lyle was right behind me. It wasn't as if I stood at the car and then he showed up. He was right there. And at that point, we just went to the back of the car and I knew what was going to happen.
You just instinctively knew that your brother would return to finish killing your mother?
Yes.
And so you went into the trunk first and pulled out the ammunition
Yes.
and handed how many rounds to your brother?
One.
Why only one?
I think because as soon as I handed him, I was scrambling. The shells and everything was all over the place. And as soon as I picked one, I gave it to my brother, and he just ran in. I guess if he would have stood there and asked for more, I would have given him more. I don't remember the feelings that I was feeling right then.
So after you handed him one cartridge, were you searching for others?
I don't think so. He just started running in.
And did you then follow him?
Not at first, but I soon followed him.
And you heard the final shot?
Yes.
And you were at the door of the den at that point?
I was coming toward the den. I didn't want to go into the den.
Did you look inside the room?
I don't remember.
You don't recall that?
I don't recall that. I remember hearing the shot. I remember being in the foyer. I don't recall seeing into the den.
After you heard the shot, what did you see or hear?
Lyle coming out of the den.
Did he have his rifle, his shotgun with him?
No.
Now, you've heard the coroner describe 10 areas of wounds to your mother and 6 to your father, correct?
Yes.
Now, you and your brother were deadly accurate with your shotguns that night, weren't you, for not being able to see very well?
Objection, your results were complete.
Overruled.
I have no idea.
Did you see your mother move at all after you started to shoot at her?
I didn't see anything after that.
You saw nothing?
I saw nothing. I saw the fire of my gun and this stuff coming out of it, and I did not see anything. I mean, I guess that's why shots just went all over the place, out the window, on the side. I just didn't know what was happening. I didn't know where I was firing, or I really wasn't aware.
Mr. Menendez, there were only 2 shots that missed. You heard the testimony about the 2 panes being broken, and the French
Yes.
doors behind where your mother and father were seated?
Yes.
So there are 2 misses out of all the shots that you and your brother fired.
Apparently.
Yeah, phrase it as a question, please. It is a question.
Is it your understanding that there were only 2 misses?
Apparently.
I'm going to object to the phone because we haven't seen staff or whether
Overruled.
Were your parents disabled after the initial shots? That were they stationary targets for you?
I'm going to object to the phone question. Vague.
Overruled.
I have no idea. I just started firing as soon as I came into that room, and whoever was in that room, I was going to fire at. And I didn't think this is who this is, or who this is, who this is. And I just started firing, and apparently I was mostly shooting at my mom. I didn't know. I wasn't aware. I wasn't thinking about it. All I was thinking is, I gotta fire every shot with my gun.
You weren't arrested for your crimes for nearly 7 months, were you?
Yeah, I guess it was that much amount of time.
You and your brother nearly got away with it, didn't you?
No, I didn't think we'd get away with it from the second it was done. I thought we'd be arrested that night. I was actually surprised.
You never turned yourself in the 7 months that you were free on the streets, knowing that you had killed your parents, correct?
No, I never turned myself in.
In fact, you conspired with your brother to lie at every bend and turn, to the police, to your relatives, to newspaper people, to everybody, correct?
Object to the phone question.
Rephrase the question, please.
You conspired with your brother, did you not, to lie to people about your involvement in the killings of your parents?
Object to the phone question.
Overruled.
No, it was very clear that we wanted to lie to the police because at that point, that night, we didn't want to get arrested, and so we were scrambling around to find a reasonable enough explanation of where we could have been. But after that, we never talked about it. We never talked about what we'd say to to my relatives or to anyone else.
So after the first day, you conspired to lie to the police.
Of that word.
Overruled.
What? It'd be easier. What do you mean by conspired?
You talked to your brother, you agreed that you and he would lie to the police.
Yes.
And after that, did you have any other discussions about lying to anybody, about what you did?
No, we didn't. We didn't discuss it. I mean, he just, I guess, assumed that I would not tell anyone that I did this.
After that, it came naturally.
No, it didn't come naturally at all. I tried to tell Craig. I told Dr. Oziel. I tried to tell another cousin of mine. It actually was very difficult around my relatives. But to anyone else, I certainly wasn't going to tell.
You lied to your relatives, correct?
In a sense, I did.
And to I believe your brother testified that 2 nasty men from the LA Times came to interview you and your brother at the Calabasas house. Isn't that correct?
They weren't nasty. They got nasty during the interview because they thought we had done it. And we were trying to say we hadn't done it, and so they got nasty. But I don't know if they were nasty people.
Now, when you say they got nasty because they thought you did it?
They had some misinformation, and I was denying the misinformation, but I knew what they were getting at, and so they were beginning to get angry.
Now,
Your Honor,
you,
at this point, I'd like to finish.
No, let's move on to something else. So we can back to this.
Mr. Menendez, you testified that you thought your parents couldn't die and they looked like wax figures after you and your brother shot them, correct?
Yes.
Now, despite the auditory problems that you claim to have, you understand now that your mother and father are in fact dead and could never go out into the sunshine again. Do you understand that?
Objection, Your Honor, I'd like to finish.
Overruled.
Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, I'm very clear about that.
Now, you have testified that since being in jail, you have only been in the sunshine 10 times. Isn't that right?
I'm not clear on the number. About 10 times, very few times.
And you testified to that on direct examination, correct?
Yes.
Did you want the juries to feel sorry for you that you couldn't go out into the sunshine?
No, not at all.
Now, you and your brother have made many statements about how bad your parents were. Would that be fair to say?
I would,
Overruled.
I would say I said a lot of things that happened to me and how I felt about them.
Now, because you and your brother killed them, they're not around to tell their side of the story, are they?
No.
Now, do you remember the testimony of your brother? He testified that he would lie for you. Do you recall that testimony?
Objection, Your Honor, misstates the testimony.
Reporter's transcript, 14,827, line 5.
Well, Your Honor, I don't-
Read it.
Very well, Ewan. This is volume 90, Tuesday, September 21st. Would you lie for your brother? I don't have to lie for him here. But did you lie in the past? I would lie for him. Do you remember that testimony?
Yes, I believe he would.
Okay. Would you lie for your brother?
I lied for him many times in my life. My
Would you-
parents were the type of people that if you didn't lie, I could get him punished, and I
Would you
wasn't.
lie to help yourself?
I did a lot with my parents.
You did a lot of lying.
With my parents, I did a lot of lying.
You did a lot of lying with some other people too, didn't you?
With the police and people, yes.
And Mr. Menendez, you wanted to be an actor, didn't you?
No, not really. I wanted to be a tennis player.
Do you recall making a statement on November 29th, 1989, in which you stated that you wanted to be an actor? And that you told Craig Signorelli that once you got into acting, you'd bring him into acting as well?
If you let me see what I said, I could definitely tell you what I said.
First of all, do you recall making that statement?
I don't recall making the statement.
Or is it your testimony that you didn't want to be an actor?
I enjoyed acting, but
Okay.
that's not what I wanted to do.
In fact, you gave a performance to your high school class. You gave a soliloquy from Richard II, correct?
Yes, I did.
And you gave it to the entire class?
Yeah, I was going to do it in just my drama class until my English teacher found out about it, and she wanted me to do it in front of the entire class.
You enjoyed that, didn't you?
Not really. That was pretty embarrassing because it was just an embarrassing thing, but it was, I enjoyed drama class.
Did you cry in that?
No.
Now, you took a year of drama classes at Beverly Hills High School, correct?
Yes.
And did you win any awards or any recognition for your acting ability?
Definitely not.
Okay. Now, you were also an aspiring screenwriter, weren't you?
I like to write, and my dad was in that industry, and it seemed like an easy in, so I did, yes.
You're creative and clever in your writing. Would you agree with that?
That's not what they said, but
What do you think?
I thought I was.
Okay. Now, you ended up with a high enough GPA from high school, and you did well enough on the SAT to get into UC Berkeley, UCLA, UC Santa Barbara, and UC San Diego?
I got into all the UC schools. It may have been more than that, but it wasn't because of my GPA.
You take into consideration your SAT as well?
Your SAT, definitely my tennis, and the fact that I had put down that I wanted to do my major was like some some very low major that would help you get into the school, and of course my father.
Now, you referred to, was that an essay that accompanied your application to the University of California campuses?
I don't understand. There was an essay you had to write. I didn't write it, but you had to write one.
You said that you had indicated that you wanted to take a certain course. Is that correct? To get into schools? You were interested?
No, you had to put down what major you want.
Okay.
Whether you want to be an economics major or math major, and I put down like basket weaving. I put down the lowest, something to do with really minimal stuff that would, this is what my parents figured, that if I put down that I was Hispanic and that I wanted this major, and with my dad's connections, it would really help me out.
Now, the major you put down was basket weaving? Is that what you said?
I don't remember the major I put down. I think it had to do with, I don't remember. I didn't fill out the form, so I don't know.
Could it have been undeclared?
It may have been undeclared. I don't know. I thought it was, I remember having a discussion with my mother that she wanted to put down the major that would best help me get into the school, since a lot of kids wanted to put down the real majors, history and so on, and she didn't want me to be competing with them.
Mr. Menendez, there's been talk or testimony in front of both juries about you having learning disabilities.
Yes.
Is that right? You got into all these UC campuses. You're a pretty smart fellow, aren't you?
That's not what I was told most of my life.
What do you think? Let's go to your state of mind, since we've been talking about that for a long time.
I'd always liked to think of myself as smart. I always wanted to think of myself as smart, but I just never was able to achieve in that way.
Is it your understanding that you must put your parents on trial in order to get the focus off of yourself and your brother in this case?
Sustained.
Now, defense witnesses have characterized your mother as a bad housekeeper and that she took you and your brother late to school and practice. Do you remember that testimony?
Yes.
And is that the way that you would characterize your mother? She was a messy housekeeper?
She had a lot of things on her mind, and she was in a lot of different places, sometimes not all there, and she had a really rough life, and she wasn't able to keep the house very well, and she was always in a hurry. It's just the way she was.
Now, you and your brother lived at the house as well, correct?
Yes.
Now, there's a photograph on that board up there. It's of your room. Does it show a messy room?
Yes, definitely very messy.
And your brother has testified that your car was very messy. It had dirty clothes in it, that sort of thing.
It was a second room for me, basically.
And Mr. Menendez, as to being late, your brother testified that, for example, he didn't like swimming, so he would intentionally try to delay your mother so that he wouldn't have to go by either taking his time or acting like he was sick or feigning some kind of an injury so that you would often be late. Isn't that right?
Lyle would do that?
Yes.
Oh, I did the same thing.
Right.
I guess he did it too. Yeah.
Okay. So you did the same thing, yet defense witnesses come in and blame it all on your mother for taking you late to places. Correct?
No, we were late to school, and for tennis mostly. For swimming, I guess we were late too. I assume we were, but I don't really remember being.
Would it be fair to say that you and your brother contributed to the messiness of the house?
Well, we live there.
And would you say that it would be fair to say that you and your brother caused your mother to take you late to school and to other activities?
No,
Because you
that
didn't
wouldn't
necessarily
be true.
want to go?
The former would be true about the messy house, but I was really, I hated being late. I could not stand walking into a classroom and having 15 heads turn to see who was coming in 10 minutes late, or walking onto the tennis court that way. So I hated that.
You testified that you would stall, so that would delay your mother.
I would stall for swimming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, remember the defense testimony of Mrs. Herx, that she said she saw your mother on August 1st, 1989, and she said that your mother said she was going to Quito, Peru to visit her relatives. Do you remember that testimony, sir?
Yeah,
And do you remember Mrs. Hertz testified that she herself was born in Argentina and had heard of Quito, Peru before she said your mother told her that on this August 1st of 1989? Do you remember that testimony?
yeah, I remember that
Okay,
testimony.
now you've testified, and we now know that in fact you had a national tournament in Kalamazoo, Michigan, correct?
Yes, I did.
And that you went early in August with your mother to Kalamazoo. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's true, but I found out later she also told other people that she was going to Quito, Peru. I'm not quite sure what's in Quito, Peru, but I don't know why she was saying that she was
Well-
going to Quito, Peru.
Now, you in fact went to Kalamazoo, correct?
Yeah, we were headed to Kalamazoo August
And
3rd.
the relatives that she was supposed to visit in Quito, Peru, she didn't have any relatives in Quito, Peru, did she?
No, she did
In
not.
fact, she had relatives near Kalamazoo. Isn't that right?
No, she did not.
She had relatives in Oakland, Illinois. Isn't that right?
In Chicago, yes.
Chicago, which is how far? It's just southwest of Kalamazoo, isn't it?
I'm not.
Argumentative.
I'm not sure. We would fly to Chicago, and then my Uncle Brian had a plane. He had one of those private planes, and he would fly us there. I think it was 100, 200 miles. I'm not even sure. Maybe may have been much more. I mean, it was in the same vicinity,
Right.
the northwest.
So and she in fact had relatives near Kalamazoo. In fact, you would go to see them in Chicago, and your uncle would fly you up to Kalamazoo,
Yes.
correct? Remember the testimony of your cousin Diane Vandermolen when she was staying at your house, one of the many cousins that stayed at your house during the summers. And when you were, and this was in 1982, 1983, when you were 13 and your brother was 15, that
I
Diane
was.
Vandermolen testified that she heard your mother say, "I've got to go help Lyle wash his hair." Do you remember that?
I heard that. Yes.
Now, your mother told Diane Vandermolen that, correct?
Apparently, wasn't in the house. I didn't.
Well, your mother wasn't trying to hide that fact that she was trying to help your brother wash his hair. That'd be fair to
Apparently
say?
not.
Okay.
Objection sustained, the answer stricken.
Now, Mr. Menendez, your brother has testified that he started to lose his hair in his early teens. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
About the time that your mother was helping him to wash his hair? Is that right?
Well, if Diane was there, I was 11 and 12, so Lyle was 14 and 15.
Excuse me, objection, this calls for speculation.
Overruled.
So your brother Lyle was about 14 or 15 during this period of time that Diane Vandermolen was there.
Yes.
Now, you heard your brother testify that your mother and father were concerned about his hair loss, correct?
I heard him testify about that, yes.
Okay. And your father was concerned about the hair loss as well, isn't that correct?
What Lyle said is that he
I'm
wanted.
going to object, Your Honor. I'm not sure what the questions were, for personal knowledge or...
Rephrase the question.
Yes. Do you recall sitting in this courtroom and hearing your brother testify that your father was concerned about his hair loss and talking
Yeah.
about getting away?
Your Honor, I'm going to object to the form of the question because it's irrelevant. I'm going to give the
Overruled.
Mr. Menendez, did you and your brother discuss taking your mother's assisting Lyle because of his hair loss and turning it into innuendo about your mother molesting him in this bathtub? You discussed that at all?
I don't understand what my mom molesting Lyle has to do with his hair loss.
Were you here when your brother testified that your mother would come in when he was taking a bath and molest him?
Yes.
Okay. Now, this supposedly started to occur.
States the evidence.
Overruled.
Object to the question.
This supposedly occurred based on what Diane Vandermolen had heard your mother say, that she was going to go help your brother wash his hair.
Objection calls for speculation.
Sustained.
Was there any discussion between you and your brother that you would try to act like your mother was molesting your brother in the bathtub during this period of time?
When Diane was there?
Yes.
No, definitely not. I didn't even
If
know
you
my
could
mother was
follow this.
doing that.
After you were arrested on the charges presently pending against you,
Yes.
did you discuss certain things that occurred in your childhood and say, well, we can use that and say, Mom molested us here? And do you follow what I'm saying?
No, after we were arrested, we had many discussions about the stuff that happened between Dad and I and whether or not we were actually going to bring that out. But definitely not about Mom in the bathtub with Lyle.
Now, do you recall testimony of Detective Zoller that no family letters or personal effects of your parents were taken from the Beverly Hills house? Is that correct?
Detective Zoller didn't
Yes,
take any?
right.
No.
Objection, form of question.
Overall.
Then, Mr. Menendez, you and your brother had access to all the family photographs that were accumulated over nearly 2 decades of your family.
You're not going to object to this and ask for judge.
Overall.
Is that correct?
Yeah, we had access to everything before and after they died.
You've indicated that you wanted to get everything your mother ever wrote and collect those so you could see what she thought.
No, I never indicated that.
Did you testify to that just this morning?
No, what I was saying is that I thought she had something in the computer, and I desperately wanted to find out what was in the computer because of how sad I felt afterwards. I just wanted to know what was really going on with her, since I didn't understand her anymore.
Now, besides the computer, were there other writings belonging to your mother or generated by your mother?
I didn't know that, but I found that out later.
Did you know that your mother had a diary?
Yes,
How did you know that?
I found that diary.
Now, in fact, it was in your bedroom after the killings, correct?
Yes,
And you read that diary.
yes, I did.
Do you know where it is, that diary is now?
I have no idea. I assume my grandmother has it. Was right after my grandmother came in, and she sort of took over and took possession of everything and sorted it out. And I tried to do some of it with her, but I didn't do that much with her.
Now, this diary of your mother, did it cover the last year of her life,
Objection,
approximately?
calls for hearsay.
Actually, what the diary was, it was in a diary type of thing, but it was just a letter. It was in a little booklet, but it was just a letter from my mother to my father. It was a very sad letter.
Where is that?
Objection, Your Honor. Ask for judge.
Overall.
I have no idea where it is.
Now, this diary, let's get back to the diary for a minute. Did you see a diary that your mother wrote expressing her love for you and your brother that was comprised of about 50 to 75 pages?
Objection calls for hearsay.
Overall.
No, I definitely never saw a diary like that. When I was in 1986, I saw a suicide letter from my mother to my father in which she said that she loved us. That made me call Lyle and ask Lyle to please talk to Mom because I didn't want her to kill herself. But I never saw a diary 50 to 70 pages.
Now, if there were a diary in your room several days after the killings...
Of 50 to 70 pages?
Yeah, yes. How would that diary have gotten there if you know?
Objection calls
It
for speculation.
would have.
Sustained.
Now, this diary that you testified you saw after the killings, how many pages long was that?
It was a long letter. I'd say about 10, maybe 15 pages. It was a small book about this one. It had a rainbow and a unicorn on the front, and a little gold lock. And I always wanted to know where it was, but it had disappeared from my bedroom, so I didn't know where it was.
This diary disappeared from your bedroom?
Yeah, once my grandmother came into the house, she pretty much took most of the stuff.
When was it that you first saw the diary that you just testified about?
After my parents died.
How long after?
I think before I went back to New Jersey for the funeral, so within the first week.
You left for New Jersey either the 25th or the 26th of August, is that right?
Is the 26th Saturday? Yeah.
I believe so.
I left on Saturday.
So before the 26th, you had found this diary of your mother's, correct?
Yes, I had gone into my mother's room when all my relatives were there. Everyone was in the house. I had been in my my dad's room and my mom's side and found the diary.
Okay, what day was that, if you recall?
I assume it was before I left to New Jersey, so Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, somewhere
Okay,
around.
well, Thursday, the 24th is the day that you bought the money clip and the Rolex. So let's take it from there. Was it before that or after that?
It might have been before. I really don't have a great recollection of what happened in the aftermath. I remember I was at the Bel Air Hotel, and I remember that there were a lot of relatives and that we were at the house, and a lot of things happened, but I don't remember an exact sequence.
You testified, though, that you found this diary, and did you bring it to your room so you could look
I
at
found
read
it, and I was crying because it was so sad, and I brought it to my room and just started reading it. It wasn't really a diary. It said "Dear Jose" at the top, and so it wasn't a diary, but it was in a diary type of book.
And did it talk about you and your brother and how much your mother loved you and your brother?
No, it didn't mention Lyle and I in that one.
At all?
Not at all.
So if there were such a diary, that wouldn't be the one that you saw?
Objection, officer.
I don't know what diary you're...
Objection sustained, the answer is correct.
Mr. Menendez, was there any other diaries that you saw besides the one that you've described, this 10-page long diary with the rainbow on the front of it?
Was there any other diary? No,
Yes.
not that I saw. I'm sure she had tons of diaries. She probably had my diaries too. I didn't see them.
Now, if she had your diaries too, would those diaries have been in the house when she was killed?
Unless she destroyed them, yes.
Did you ever find those?
No, I didn't. I went into my father's room partly because I knew there were a lot of magazines and videos that I didn't want anyone to find. And I went into my mother's room just in case there was. Actually, what started me going into my mother's room was I found the tape recorder.
Okay, wait a minute. You talked about magazines and videos that you didn't want anyone to find?
Yes.
Of yours?
No, they were in my father's room. They were in a box, and they had a lot of magazines, gay magazines and gay pornos, and I removed them from the room because I knew the relatives were going to be around, and I thought they might be in there.
What did you do with those?
I put them in my closet.
Oh, so if they were found in your closet, you would have taken it from your dad's room and put it in your closet.
They weren't found in my closet. I gave them to my cousin Henry and to my cousin Andy, and told them to get rid of them. I didn't want my grandmother to find them. I didn't want my relatives to find them. I didn't want anyone to find them.
Mr. Menendez, have you had homosexual relations with anyone other than, as you've indicated, your brother?
Objection, Your Honor, to the form of the question. Objection to the subject matter and ask for the vote.
Okay. Mr. Menendez, would it be fair to say that you've had access to hundreds of photographs of you and your brother and your parents taken of your family over 2 decades?
Objection, Vegas to time.
As to when did he have access, why don't you rephrase the question?
Yes. After the killings of your parents, did you have access to hundreds of family photographs?
After or before we were arrested?
Yes.
Yes.
So you control what photographs are shown to the jury?
No.
The ones that came from your house?
No.
Now, in addition, how many photographs would you say were at the house of the family over this period of time?
Which period?
After the killings, how many photographs did you see in your house in Beverly Hills?
Very few. My grandmother sort of took everything and took them back east to where she wanted to form albums and memorabilias and things like that.
Were there videotapes taken of you and your brother while you were growing up?
Yes.
And would you say that was pretty common?
Yeah, I would say it was pretty common. Mostly of tennis. In fact, almost all of tennis, but that was pretty common. Now,
you're out of these photographs that were at the house, that were accumulated over about 20 years, the defense has presented two photographs. One photograph that your brother said was of him in the bathtub, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And one of you with a blanket around you. Is that right? You had some kind of a bedspread or something on you?
How old was I?
Maybe you can tell me that.
Your Honor, I would, that mischaracterizes the photograph.
Objection sustained.
Do you remember a photograph shown of you?
You're referring to an exhibit here?
Yes.
Oh.
There was an exhibit.
Yeah, there were a few photographs
Right.
up here of me.
And they came from a roll of film that was mostly of your birthday?
Oh, the ones on my 6th birthday? Yes, I
Right.
remember those.
Now, did you ever take a picture of your brother? You ever use your parents' camera?
When they wanted me, I wasn't really supposed to use my parents' camera, but if there was a group and they wanted me to take a photo,
Yeah.
I took a photo. I did that at church once. I remember doing it then and when we were playing tennis sometimes.
Did you ever get a picture taken of you by your brother when you were growing up?
Definitely not when I was naked.
You don't recall that?
No, that didn't happen. I would remember
when
that.
you would take a picture as a child, would it be a centered picture?
I
The
didn't.
photo?
I didn't take pictures as a child. When I was 12, 13, when we moved to New Jersey, then as I got older, my parents would allow me to use the camera.
And you've testified before, I believe, these juries that you believed your father had taken many, many pictures of you naked, correct?
Your Honor,
No,
Is that right?
Objection sustained.
Did you testify that your father had taken other photos of you?
Objection, Your Honor, he didn't testify to that at all.
That's a question. Your answer.
My father did take many photographs of me naked.
And do you know whether he took photographs of your brother naked?
I have no idea.
Now, your father and mother didn't know that they were going to be killed by you and your brother on August 20th, 1989, did they?
Probably not. I would guess not.
So they didn't have time to go and hide any photographs of the family, did they, before you
Objection,
killed
Your
them?
Honor, calls for speculation.
Overruled.
It's also argumentative.
Overruled.
Is that right?
I don't think they were concerned about hiding photographs on August 20th. I think they had a lot of different things on their mind then.
Now, you said that you thought your mother could read minds, and you found out later that your mother taped your calls, correct?
I didn't know if she could read minds, but she seemed to have it seemed like magic. And I found out later she was taping my calls.
And in fact, didn't you tell Dr. Oziel that your mother locked her door, her bedroom door, about a week before because she sensed that you and your brother were going to kill them?
No, what I told Dr. Oziel is that everybody in the family locked the doors, and especially that last week. And when I said it, I didn't mean to say it. It slipped out.
It slipped out.
Yeah.
You didn't mean to tell him that your mother was locking her door?
I didn't mean to tell her that my mother, my brother, and I were locking our door because I figured he would ask why as soon as I said it, but he never did.
And in fact, on September 17th, you told Detective Zoller that your mother was locking her door recently too, didn't you? That wasn't a common thing. That was something that she had just started to do recently.
No,
Isn't that right?
that was something that we were all doing recently, but had started as soon as we moved into the Beverly Hills house. Things changed. That we had never had a code on the house, and she fixed the code. She started locking every door in the house, and it just seemed. I thought something was going on. It seemed really eerie. I'm not sure what I told Detective Zoller on the 17th. If you have it.
If you had mentioned that your mother was locking her doors and then later mentioned it also to Dr. Oziel, would that have been something noteworthy that had just occurred, or was that something that had been occurring all along since you had lived in Beverly Hills?
I can't answer your question because I don't know what I said to
We'll
Detective
go
Zoller.
through that. What kinds of videos would be taken of you and your brother?
Mostly videos, playing tennis or whatever sports we were doing.
Was there ever any videos where you were given parties by your parents or at proms or dances or anything like that?
I don't remember any, but they very well could have.
And where would those be, with your grandmother?
At this point, I would have no idea.
The only moving picture that you've shown to the juries is, I believe, of you swimming like 15 years ago. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, we have a lot more.
Yeah. You have some of your mother and you and your brother, or maybe your mother's smiling.
I'm going to object to the formal question. I'm going to object to this whole area, in fact, and ask to approach.
Overall.
We have a lot of different videos that would show me playing tennis. We have different videos that would show, I guess, my mother smiling. We have a lot of different videos. My attorneys have told me about some of them.
Do you remember a defense witness testifying that over a period of 3 years he had never seen your mother smile once? Do you remember that?
No, I said that that's the one thing I wanted from my mother, was for her to smile, and that's my favorite thing about her.
So you saw your mother smile?
On this issue,
On that issue the court's not aware of.
relating to this question?
I'll go on to a different area, Your Honor.
No, not related to the question.
Okay, well, if he's going on to something else with
It
later.
has nothing to do with what is going on.
Okay, sure, you may have. There was a matter that council wanted to deal with, and it'll take a little while to do that. So, as I indicated, we were going to be recessing at 4 o'clock anyway. So I'll permit council the opportunity to use the 15 minutes to deal with that matter that they discussed. And we'll resume tomorrow at 9 o'clock. So would you state your name again for the record, please?
Erik Galen Menendez?
And I'll remind you that you're still under oath.
Yes, sir.
All right, you may continue your cross-examination.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Menendez, drawing your attention to August 15th, 1989. You had indicated that there was an argument between your mother and your brother on that date.
Yes.
Would you recount for the jurors, or the juries, what occurred on that day?
My mom and my brother were coming out of the den, and my mom was saying that he didn't need something, and that something to that extent that it wasn't important. And Lyle was saying, "No, I really need it. It's important. Please, it's not that big of a deal." And my mom just got really in a rage and just ripped his hairpiece off.
Now, when you say your mother got in a rage, what did she do?
She gets to a point where she just explodes, and she just says, "No, you don't need it," and she just ripped it off.
Now, was she angry at that time?
She was angry before that time. She was angry coming out of the room. It was a lot of raising of voices, and then she just sort of went over the edge.
Where were you at this time?
I was in the foyer. I had just come in.
So the argument was occurring in the den.
And the argument was, I suppose it was in the den before I got there, but it was coming out of the den.
Had you just come home?
Yes.
So you came through the front doors?
Yes.
As you approached the foyer, you heard argument.
As I was coming in the door.
As you were coming in the front door?
Yes.
What time was this?
This was in the late afternoon, real late. I'm not sure. It was still light outside.
Approximately what time?
4, 5, I'm not sure.
Now, was this argument loud yelling by your mother and your brother?
No, it was pretty much mostly by my mother, and I guess some by my brother. I'm not really sure.
Did your brother raise his voice at your mother?
In begging for whatever he was begging for at the time, yes.
And did your mother use any profanities?
I don't believe so.
At some point after you heard this argument, did you actually see your mother and your brother?
Well, I saw them immediately as I was coming in the door, or I was just inside the door, and they were coming out of the den when I came in.
As you were entering the door, could you hear them arguing, though? Entering the
From
front
outside
doors?
of the house, no.
But as you entered the front doors, you could hear them arguing.
Yes.
You saw them exiting the den into the foyer.
Yes.
And you actually witnessed this argument.
Yes. The part that took place outside of the den.
Okay, and what happened after there was this argument, this exchange, this yelling?
My mother ripped off his hairpiece.
Did you actually see her do that?
Yes.
Now, your mother was 5'5", correct?
I'm not sure.
She was about a head shorter than your brother?
No.
No? Was she as tall as your brother?
A few inches smaller than my brother.
And your brother's how tall?
I'm not sure.
How tall are you?
I'm about 6 feet. I think he's 5'10" and a half, 5'11". I'm not sure.
Did she get up on her tiptoes to grab his hairpiece off his head?
She didn't need to do that. She just reached up.
Right up to the front of his face to grab his hairpiece?
Yeah. Yes. She just reached up and grabbed it. It wasn't... she's not a lot smaller than my brother. When you look at them, they look about the same size.
Okay, so your mother's the same size as your brother, so she didn't have to go on her tiptoes. She just simply reached up to the top of his head and pulled off his hairpiece.
Yes.
And you saw this.
I saw this.
What happened after that?
She threw it up, and she threw it back at him, toward his stomach, and just ran up the stairs.
Now, she ran up the stairs?
Yes.
To where?
To her bedroom, I suppose.
And then what happened?
And then Lyle went to his guest house.
And then what happened next?
And then I went over to the guest house to see Lyle.
Was Lyle's head bleeding?
I don't remember.
What was Lyle doing?
Lyle was crying.
Did you tell Lyle to stop crying?
I didn't speak to him inside the main house.
When you went to the guest house?
Oh, you're asking in the guest house?
Yes.
Oh, he was in the bathroom fixing it when I came in.
And at some point he exited the bathroom.
Yes.
Then what happened?
And I told him, I just felt really, really bad for him. I was feeling pretty down myself. And I just told him that, not to worry about that I had always known that he had had something done, and it didn't change anything that I felt for him. It didn't change the fact that he was my brother and that I loved him.
Now, you told your brother that you loved him, and you stayed with him the rest of that day?
I believe so. I'm pretty sure. I'm not.
Did you stay with him in the guest house that night?
Yes.
Your father was not home that night,
No.
correct? Did you stay in his king-size bed in his upstairs bedroom in the guest house?
That night I did.
You stayed in the bed with him?
Yes.
So you slept the whole night in the guest house?
Yes.
Did you stay up talking
Yes.
the whole night?
What do you mean by the whole night?
Well, did you ever go to sleep that night?
Yes, we did.
Do you recall approximately when you went to sleep that night?
No, I don't.
So you discussed things about your parents that night, I take it?
Yeah, we discussed pretty much just what was happening in the family, how he was going to talk to Dad, and how things weren't the same anymore.
Okay, what happened the next day, Wednesday, when you woke up?
I don't remember.
You don't remember Wednesday at all?
I don't remember much on Wednesday. I believe I played some tennis in the morning. I don't remember, really.
Do you remember what your brother was doing that day?
No.
When you woke up, was he still in the bed with you?
I don't remember.
When you got up to play tennis, who did you play with that day?
I don't remember. I think I just went out and practiced my serve. I'm not really sure.
Do you remember anything about that Wednesday? Anything that you did?
I remember a conversation I had with my brother, because that stands out of my mind, but...
On
other
Wednesday?
than- Yes.
When and where was this conversation?
It was in Westwood at a restaurant called, it was an Italian restaurant, I think it was the Olive Garden. I think it was the Olive Garden.
What time of the day was this?
Sometime after 12, before night, I'm not really sure.
And how was it that you met up with your brother there?
I don't remember, we may have drove together.
Was it just you and your brother?
Yes.
And do you remember discussing anything with him on that day?
Yes.
Did you again discuss how you wanted to get rid of your parents?
No. We discussed how he was hoping that I would be able to go to Princeton with him and how we could be together, and how he was going to talk to Dad.
Now, the next day was a Thursday, correct?
Yes.
Now, did you sleep with Lyle that night as well?
Objection form the question, misstates the evidence.
Did you stay in Lyle's guest house?
Yes, I
that
did.
night? Okay. So you stayed with him on Tuesday night and also on Wednesday night?
I don't know if I stayed with him on Wednesday night. I very well may have, but I know I did on Thursday.
What happened when you woke up on Thursday,
What happened?
17th of August? What did you do? Do you remember anything about that day?
Yes.
What did you
I know I had a lesson with my coach in the morning.
How do you know that?
Because I remember Thursday, because I remember the anxiety of my dad supposed to come home that day.
And that triggered you to remember that you had a lesson with your coach?
Yes.
And that coach is Mark Heffernan?
Yes.
Do you remember Mark Heffernan testified that he had a lesson with you on Friday, the 18th, the morning of the 18th of August?
Yes, I remember
Did
he
he have
testified. I'm sorry.
Did he in fact have a lesson with you on August 18th? As
No,
he
he did not.
testified?
No, he did not.
Did he lie to these juries?
No, I think he's mistaken.
And you're correct.
I'm almost certain I'm correct.
You heard your coach, Mark Heffernan, testify that he did have a lesson with you on the morning of Friday, August 18th, correct?
Yes, I heard that.
Okay, so you indicated that you recall that there was a lesson on Thursday. Could there have been lessons on both days?
No, there could not have been a lesson on Friday, because I specifically remember practicing my serve when my brother came out to talk to me
On which day?
on Friday.
Now, you indicated that you were practicing your serve on August 16th as well, correct?
It was something I did to just relax, to get my mind off things.
So could you be mistaking the days?
I don't think so, but I mean, I could have.
How long did this last lesson last?
I know it ended short because I really was not up to having a training session that day, and so we ended it short. So it probably was an hour and a half. I'm not sure.
Did you indicate to your coach on that last practice day that you didn't feel well and you wanted to end a session early?
Yes, I did.
You told your coach that?
Yeah.
Did you tell him you were feeling down and you just weren't up to practicing?
Yes.
And you recall that normally the lessons were about 2 hours?
Whatever Mark could do. He had a lot of people that he played with, anywhere from an hour to 2 hours.
But this one you cut short, you indicated.
Yes.
feeling down and cutting your lesson short, what did you then do?
I know I spent most of the night in the hills of Beverly Hills and around Westwood. During the day, I remember being in and out, but I don't remember exactly what I did.
Was this lesson that you recall on Thursday, was it in the morning then?
Yes,
Do you recall what time that session was?
I think in the morning, sometime before noon.
Do you recall seeing Lyle, your brother, on that day?
I don't specifically recall seeing him on that day. Are you talking about in the afternoon?
Yes.
Yes, I don't specifically recall it, no.
So after the lesson, feeling bad or poorly, what did you do?
I just went, I know I left the house at some times and I came back. I think I went over to eat in Westwood. I believe so, I'm pretty sure. But I don't really remember. I was really anxious for the night and I didn't really want to be with anyone or talk to anyone.
So you were alone that whole day,
Yes,
and you didn't know where your brother was?
I may have. I don't remember knowing now.
At some point, did you see your brother on Thursday afternoon?
I don't remember. I may very well have. I was at the house a lot. I just don't remember.
Were you in and out of the house?
Yes.
Besides going to eat in Westwood, do you recall anything else that you did that afternoon?
No.
Do you recall when you went back to your Beverly Hills home?
That night?
Yes.
Yeah, late, closer to midnight.
Now, after you left the house and you ate in Westwood, did you ever return to the house from the time that you had lunch to the time that you returned late at night?
Yes.
Okay. How many times?
I'm sorry, sir. I don't remember.
At least once, though.
Yes.
And what did you notice when you returned on that one occasion that you can recall?
I just don't recall.
You don't recall seeing your mother or your brother?
I don't recall it.
Do you recall where you pulled your car when you returned that afternoon?
I almost always pulled it in front.
Okay. What time was it that you returned that evening, that night?
Close to midnight, somewhere around midnight.
And did you park in the front of the house when you returned that night?
Yes.
Okay. So this is Thursday night. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Was the house locked up?
I don't think so.
Did you have a key?
No.
Did you just go on through unlocked doors, the front doors?
Yeah, I think the front door was unlocked.
So you entered the doors and was anyone awake?
I didn't see anyone.
Were the lights all out?
No, the lights were on.
Where were the lights on?
The light.
Looking at the exhibit that is on the chart of the layout of the house. Exhibit 6. Did you take this appointment? As you entered the house, would you describe for the juries which lights were on in the house?
I remember going around the side to see if the guest house lights were on, because I then went to see if Lyle and my dad were still talking, or where they were talking, or if what was happening in the house. I checked the den lights were on. I know the living lights were off. I believe the foyer lights were on. Other than that, I couldn't really tell you. I think the den lights were on. I mean, this light and that light, I don't think that light was on. But it's hard to remember so clearly.
Did you go into the den that night?
The den you're referring to, the family room den?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I did not.
Where did you then go?
Up to my room.
What did you do up there?
I didn't do much before my father got there.
Okay, at some point your father came up to your room.
Yes.
What happened?
He told me to open up the door.
You know what time that was?
It was real soon after I got home.
Shortly after midnight?
Right around then.
Would you describe for the juries what happened?
Yeah, my dad was pounding on the door for me to open it up, and I did. I unlocked the lock, and I just went back to the corner of my room.
Was he simply pounding, or was he yelling and screaming to open up the door?
No, he was telling me to open up the door.
How was he doing that?
He was saying, open up the door, open the goddamn door.
Was he mad?
Yes, he sounded very mad.
That you had locked the door as soon as you went into your room, is that right?
I almost always did that.
And you weren't sleeping at the time.
No.
You were sitting on your bed?
I don't remember where I was.
So you hear a knock at your door, a pounding.
Yes.
Was he pounding hard?
Yes, he pounded with his fists.
Was he pounding violently?
I don't know. He was pounding hard.
And did he try the door? Could you hear the door rattling?
Yes.
See the doorknob turning a little bit?
I don't remember.
When he first demanded entry into your room, how did he do that? What did he say?
He said, open up the door, open up the goddamn door, something like that.
Now, you didn't open it up at first, did you? You were afraid to open up that door, weren't you?
Yeah, I was real afraid to open up the door.
You were kind of scooting back away from that door.
I don't remember.
Now, you indicated your dad is a big, strong man, correct?
He is.
Did you think that door was going to come crashing in on you?
I don't remember exactly what I was thinking. I was just afraid to open it up.
Okay, you indicated, I think, in direct examination that you went to the corner of the room. I mean, you were cowering out in the corner of your room. Remember that testimony?
Yes.
So something about your father that night was scaring you. Was it his yelling?
It was more than just his yelling. It was his yelling because I thought he had talked to my brother, and I hadn't talked to my brother yet. So I was real scared when I saw my dad's reaction.
Okay, well, you didn't see him at that point. You heard him.
Exactly.
Now, would you describe for the juries exactly what he said after he demanded entry and he was pounding and you didn't open up the door? Did he go on and did he curse at you?
I'm sorry, I can't remember. I remember I unlocked the door, and I did it real slowly and real quietly because I didn't want him to know that I was at the door. And I just went back to the back of my bedroom and waited for him to come in.
Before your father actually opened up the door and entered, how long had he been yelling and screaming for you to open the door and pounding on your door? How long had that been going on?
10 seconds.
So you opened it up pretty quick.
Yeah, I wasn't going to wait long.
Didn't you testify that you were afraid and you didn't want to open it at first and you kept yelling, so you decided to open up that little lock?
You didn't say no to my dad. Whenever my dad came into my room and started yelling or did something like that, I froze up and I wasn't able to refuse him very easily.
So that night, he entered into your room.
Yes.
And were you in the corner as you testified?
Yes, I was in the corner of the room.
Were you watching his facial expressions, his hand signals, that sort of thing?
Yeah, that's what I normally did.
Okay. As he entered, were your lights on in your room?
Yes.
As he entered, what did he say to you?
He said, the first thing he said?
Yes.
I don't remember the first thing he said. I remember the first things that he said, though. I don't remember the first words that he said.
Okay. What do you remember he said?
He was saying that he told me never to tell Lyle, that he had warned me never to do that, and now look what was going to happen, that Lyle was going to tell everybody.
Was he mad?
He was furious.
Was he yelling at you?
Yes.
Was he screaming at you?
No, my dad didn't really scream.
He yelled.
He just raised his voice, and it got very deep, but fairly loud.
He had a booming voice. I mean, his voice could scare you, couldn't it?
His voice could scare me when it wasn't booming. It wasn't like
Yeah.
my mother's. But he didn't like showing a lot of emotion like that. He did it when he couldn't control himself sometimes, but he didn't have a booming voice because he prided himself on not reacting like that.
But this night, he just went off. He was yelling at you, wasn't he?
He was yelling. I wouldn't say that his voice was all over the place, but he was very loud.
He was very loud.
Yeah.
Right. What kind of look did he have on his face? You've indicated that you would be able to take a look at his expression and you would decide, well, okay, he wants a certain kind of sex, or he's going to beat me this day, or he's going to whip me this day. What kind of look did he give you?
It wasn't just his look. It was his body movements, whether he was hunched up, whether he was back, whether he was looking calm or angry. I couldn't even begin to show you the looks that he had. I couldn't even begin to show you how scary they were.
You mean the looks that he had over a period of time, or that night?
That night, or when he was angry.
Well, let's try to do that for the jury so they can understand what was happening.
I cannot.
Object to that, Your Honor, to the top of the stern.
What are you asking me to do?
I'm asking the witness to describe for the jurors what his father did, how he looked that night as he entered the room.
Demonstrate or just verbally?
Just verbally describe it.
Withdraw the objection.
The question is, how did he look?
Yes.
He looked like he was a bull. He looked like he was forceful, furious, and coming at me. He looked very. I had never really seen him that angry before that. He really looked angry.
He was intent on getting you that night, wasn't he?
I don't know what he was thinking in his mind. I know what I saw.
Well, what was your state of mind?
That this man was coming at me, that I didn't want to be in the room, that my dad was. I wished I didn't have any other choice but to open the door, but I wished that I hadn't gone in the house.
And you, did he actually charge you?
No, at first he just started yelling.
What did he say?
He said that
Objection, Your Honor, asked and answered.
he said that he had told me never to tell Lyle, and that he'd warned me not to do that, and now look what was going to happen. That Lyle was going to tell everyone, and that he wasn't going to let that happen.
After he yelled this at you, he charged you?
Yes.
Did he knock you against a wall?
No, he threw me on the bed.
Okay. As he threw you on the bed, did your bed go banging up against the wall?
No, my bed was a large stationary unit. It didn't shake.
Then what happened?
And then I guess he came over me. I'm not really sure. As he was coming over, somehow I just was able to go like this and get away from the bed. It just happened so quickly that it's hard to picture. I remember I was scrambling over the desk, and then I was thrown on the bed, and then he was coming at me, coming over me, and then I just scrambled off that bed.
So you scrambled off the bed. Did you knock over any furniture or knock the desk into any wall or anything like that?
Which desk are you talking about?
You indicated that you have a desk in your room?
Yes.
Okay, did you knock into the desk as you were fleeing from your father?
Things fell off the desk, but the desk didn't knock over, no.
Things were getting banged around?
No.
No?
No.
Things fell off the desk like what?
Like I had a typewriter on the desk, that fell on the desk, and almost broke.
That's a pretty heavy typewriter.
It's an electric typewriter.
That fell off. Anything else fall off?
I don't remember.
As you were getting away from your father, where was he? I mean, did he jump on your bed too?
He was.
Trying to grasp at you?
Yeah, he was. I guess he was trying. I mean, I wasn't looking. When I was thrown on the bed, I wasn't. My back was faced to him, and he was coming over, and I just tried to push away his hand or whatever he was grabbing at me and just scrambled off the bed.
Okay, and as you scrambled off the bed, what happened?
I just ran.
Where'd you run?
I ran downstairs
And where'd you go?
into the den.
And I think you testified that your mother was laying on the couch watching TV in the den.
She was sitting on the couch.
Sitting on the couch?
Mm-hmm.
Watching TV, correct?
Mm-hmm.
This was after,
Yes.
this was after midnight.
Yes.
Were any lights on in the den?
Yes, the den lights were on.
When you entered the house that night and went through the foyer and went up to your room, you would go by the den, would you not?
You wouldn't go by it. You'd go to the stairs.
So you heard the TV on that night and you saw your mother in there that night, didn't you?
I didn't see my mother in there. I don't remember if I heard the TV.
You didn't remember seeing anyone that night, I thought you had indicated when you entered the house.
No, I didn't.
But when you came down after your father had come into your room, your mother was sitting there watching TV.
Yes.
And you had a conversation with your mother at that point, correct?
Yes.
What did you say to her?
She said something to me.
What did she say to you?
She said, "What's the matter with you?"
And how did you respond to
I
her?
just said, "No, nothing. You wouldn't understand. You won't understand."
And then she said something to you.
Yes.
What did she say?
She said, "Oh, I understand."
Okay. And what did you say?
There were a lot of words. She said, "Oh, I understand. I understand a lot more than you think," something like that. And I said, it just took me back. And I said, "What?" I said, what do you know?" Or something to that effect. And she said, oh, I know. Something was wrong with her. Possibly she was too heavily medicated. I'm not really sure. So her voice was a little off. Her head was moving. She had a little smirk on her face.
And you just stood there and watched all of her expressions and her little smirk, and you had this conversation with her?
I wouldn't call it a conversation. I was crying at the time,
Okay.
and it was just a pretty short exchange that just shocked me.
And you talked to her, she talked to you, correct?
Yes.
And then what happened?
And she told me what she told me that she knew, and I just told her I hated her.
And then what happened?
I ran out the back of the den.
Now, in the family room, when you were having this conversation with your mother, when she said, I know, she didn't say what she knew. She says, "I know more than you think I know"? Is that
No,
what
she
said?
says, "I know, I've always known. What do you think, I'm stupid?" Or something. She said, "I know, I've always known." And then she said, "What do you think, I'm stupid?" I remember the last phrase in particular.
Now, was she yelling at you at that point?
No.
Okay, when she said that to you, she never said what she knew, the substance or the subject of what she knew. She just simply said to you, "I know."
Yes, that's true.
So, at the point at which she said, "I know," did you get upset?
Yeah, I got upset. I got scared for a moment. I got shocked. I mean, what she was saying, I just was something that I did not believe all of my life, and I absolutely refused to believe all of my life.
That your mother knew something? That she knew anything?
Well, I definitely thought she was talking about my dad and I, and it was very hard for me. Right at that moment, I got angry.
When you got angry, did you yell? Did you yell at your mom?
I don't know if it was a yell. She was close to me, but I think I raised my voice.
Raised your voice and said what?
I said, "I hate you."
This is the night that your brother testified he heard the arguing from his guest house, correct? Do you remember him testifying that he heard your mom and you yelling and arguing from his guest house?
I don't know if he testified to that.
You don't recall that?
I recall him saying that he heard my mom. I don't really recall what he said.
Your brother lived in the guest house at the rear of the property, correct?
Yes.
Do you think about this? Do you recall him testifying that he was upstairs in his bedroom and he heard the argument, the yelling and screaming from the main house?
No, I don't remember him saying that. I mean, when we left the main house, my mom was screaming at me at that point when we were more toward the guest house. I don't really remember what he testified to. I
Now,
can tell you what happened.
Was she yelling at you while she was in that family room?
No.
She did not yell at you?
No.
And you did not yell at her?
No.
You raised your voice?
Yes.
And at some point then did you, after this conversation or this discussion with your mother, did you exit the house?
Yeah, I ran out the back of the den.
Through the French doors?
Yes.
And did you have to unlock those doors?
No.
They were unlocked?
I don't remember if they were unlocked. And I believe those are the French doors that when you open, it unlocks automatically, whether it's locked or not. Some mechanism inside. So I don't even know if it was locked.
At some point, you exited those French doors, and did your mother follow you?
Yes.
And was she right on your tail?
Fairly close. Fairly close.
And when is it, as she exited the house, was she yelling, "Come back here"? What did you testify that she said to you?
No, I remember as I was exiting the house and just getting out, she spoke from within her in sort of a grumbling voice when she was just about getting really angry, and she said, "Get back here" at first. And
Okay.
I took off to the guest house, and that's when she chased me.
Okay, after she gave you that grumbly voice, did she then yell for you to stop and come back here and don't act that way to me?
Yeah, when we were headed toward the guest house. I guess it was before I got to the guest house. I don't remember exactly where I was. There's a tennis court and the pool, and we were running in between. She said, "Get back here, you bastard."
Was she yelling?
Yeah, at that point she was yelling.
Let me ask you this. Was she yelling loud enough so that when your brother testified that he heard her yelling from his guest house, the upstairs bedroom, could he have heard that?
Objection on the
Do you believe that your state of mind, whether you had been speaking loud enough and yelling loud enough, and your mother yelling loud enough for neighbors to hear what you were doing?
Objection
No.
on the objection.
Now, these two nights, Tuesday and Thursday, let me ask you this, Mr. Menendez. Where was your father all this time? I thought he was so intent on attacking you that night. Where was he when you had this conversation with your mother?
Before my question,
Rephrase the question.
Very well, Your Honor. You said your father had come into your room, he was mad, he was yelling, he was going to get you. You knew he was going to get you. And then all of a sudden, you're out of your room, you're down in the den talking to your mother. Where was your father all this time? I thought he was ready to get you.
same objection.
Rephrase the question.
Where was your father? Do you know where your father was as you exited? Did you see him again that night?
No, I never saw him again that night.
So this father that you testified would follow you to the four corners of this earth to get you and hunt you down. Couldn't even find you in your own house, could he?
Objection.
No.
Argumentative.
Objection sustained, the answer is true.
Thank you.
He didn't come into the den, did he?
No, he did not, sir.
He didn't come out to the guest house, did he?
Not that night. Not that I saw.
Now these two nights, this Tuesday and Thursday that you testified to, nights where these violent or argumentative, yelling confrontations occurred, these were nights, sir, if I may approach, Your Honor?
If that's a question that you're going to object to, it is argumentative.
Well, it is not only argumentative, very well be compound with its being phrased, so let's rephrase.
Yeah,
What are you going to be doing up
I just want to go to the chart.
Sure.
Thank you. Mr. Menendez, do you know that there was a maid living at your house Monday through Friday?
Yes, there was.
Flor Dia Maria Soria, right?
Flora was
Flor is
how I
she
called
went
her.
by. And Flor stayed in the maid's room, as indicated here. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Next to the family room, correct?
No, there's a wall.
Well,
But
the next room-
directly behind it, I suppose, yes.
now, if she didn't hear anything Thursday night or Tuesday night, how would you explain that you had these violent confrontations on those nights?
Objection, Your Honor, it's inspected.
That night, sir, did you spend the night in your brother's guest house?
Yes, I did.
Now, you say your mother was chasing you to your brother's guest house, correct?
Yes.
And did she enter the guest house?
She came up to the floor where my brother lived, so yes.
When you arrived at the guest house door, was the door unlocked?
Yes, it was.
Okay, and did you beat your mother to that door?
Yes, I did.
And you entered into your brother's guest house?
Yes, I did.
Did you yell for your brother to help you, Mom's after me?
Something to that extent. I called out Lyle and I said, Mom knows, Mom's coming, Mom knows.
Did you see your brother come down the stairs?
No, I said that as soon as I entered from the top of the stairs. There's a stairs that goes up the side of the guest house. There's a door at the top, and as soon as I entered that door.
So as soon as you entered the door, you could see your brother?
Yes,
Where was he?
he was in his bedroom. He was sort of in the coming out. I'm not really positive he was in it or coming out.
His bedroom was up on the second floor,
Yes,
and when you entered, you could see him coming out of his bedroom door?
he was right there. There's a little. The door opens and his bedroom door is right in front, and then right to the left is a little like living area, and he was right there as the door opened. So I don't know if he was coming out of his bedroom or what, but he was right there.
And did your big brother come down and protect you from your big mother?
Excuse me?
Did your big brother protect you from your big mother?
In a sense, I mean, he started an argument with her.
Did he step in front of you? to
Yeah,
protect-
I went back because I knew she was coming up the stairs. He could hear her, and he stepped in front of me. Yes.
Did he give her a hand signal to stop?
No,
Did he say, "Don't hurt my brother"?
I don't remember him saying that.
What do you remember?
I remember my mom screaming as she was coming up the stairs and in the guest house in the that little room, and my brother saying, "How could you know? Why haven't you done anything? How could you know all this time? This and that."
Your brother is having this conversation with your mother at that point,
Yes.
and your father never came to the guest house.
No, he did not.
And how long did this conversation take place? Over what period of time?
I would say within a minute or two. Within a minute or two, she had left.
She just turned around and left and went back to the main house, as far as you knew.
Yeah, she was, I guess, really, really exasperated and just left.
And what did you and your brother do at that point?
Lyle and I talked.
What did you talk about?
We talked about what I wanted to know what his conversation with Dad was, because clearly things did not go well, and he wanted to know, why was Mom screaming at me? How did I know that Mom knew all of these things? So we were sort of talking at the same time, and he told me to calm down.
That night, did you go upstairs to his room?
We were in the upstairs.
Okay. And that's where his bedroom is?
Yeah, there's only 2 rooms on the top of the floor.
And you had a discussion with your brother that night about what you were going to do?
About what was happening and what we could do, yeah.
And you decided to get guns and shoot your parents?
No, sir.
What did you decide?
We did decide eventually to get guns, though.
Did you stay up most of the night discussing the gun situation?
No.
How long do you call staying up that night?
I stayed up really late. I stayed up till maybe 4 in the morning. But Lyle had gone back to his bedroom by that time.
You were in the bedroom at that point, were you not?
No, we were not.
Where were you discussing this?
I was sitting on the couch, and Lyle was right in front of me, sometimes sitting, sometimes standing up.
Where?
In the little living area right there. I don't know what he calls it. I guess it could be called the family room.
Would that be on the second floor?
Yes.
So you had this discussion, and at some point, your brother retired for the night?
He went back to his bedroom.
Okay. And what did you do?
I stayed right there.
Now, you were scared that your father and mother were going to kill you, weren't you?
Yes, sir.
Now, did you just stay upstairs and go to sleep after that?
I stayed up for a long time. Eventually, I fell asleep.
So you never went back downstairs until you woke up the next morning?
That's right.
If you were so scared, why didn't you go downstairs and you knew the door was unlocked when you entered the guest house? Why didn't you go lock it and barricade yourselves in there? Did you do anything like that?
No, we locked the door at the top of the stairs, but we never went downstairs.
Okay, so there's a door leading into the 2 rooms then?
Yeah, there's a door at the top of the stairs, and then there is the door at the bottom.
Did you take a bat and put it next to your bed or anything like that?
No.
So you went to sleep that night, and the next morning was Friday,
Friday morning.
18th of August.
Yes.
And do you recall that morning what happened?
I recall going out to the tennis court.
Okay, what time did you wake up that morning?
I don't remember.
You recall that it was morning when you woke up,
Yes, sir.
and did you have all your clothes on still from the night before?
Yes.
And you had been out most of the day. The previous day, you had been to Westwood and you had lunch, correct?
Yes.
And you had been out and you came home about midnight.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so you went directly to the tennis courts?
The next morning?
Yes.
I threw on some clothes first.
Where?
I had jeans on. I had slept in my jeans, and I
Okay.
put on some tennis shorts.
How did you do that?
I was in my brother's guest house. There were clothes all around.
So you used his clothes?
Yes, sir.
And you didn't go into the main house, you went directly to the tennis courts?
Right.
And you started to hit some balls.
Yes.
I think you indicated that it was a sunshiny day and the birds were chirping.
Yes, it seemed like a really bright day to me, like everything should have been fine and just a normal day. But
Was it early in the morning that you woke up, if you can recall?
I know the sun was out. It may have been 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. I really don't remember.
When you woke up, you got off of was it the couch you slept on?
Yeah, I had slept on the couch.
Did you go to your brother's room to see if he was okay? Maybe he had been killed during the night?
No, I believe I went in there to either get some shorts or something. I know he was sleeping there.
So you actually went into his bedroom and you got some of his shorts and his tennis shoes?
I don't remember if the shorts were in the main room or in the bedroom, but I remember going into his bedroom.
And you got dressed so that you could be appropriately attired for your tennis that day?
I just threw on some shorts.
So you had the same dress shirt you had on from the day before?
Yes.
And you started to hit some balls.
Yes, sir.
And at some point, did Mark Heffernan show up, give you a lesson?
No.
How long were you out on the tennis court?
Half hour. Maybe a half hour, not that long.
Did you have a bucket of balls there that you could just hit like 100 balls and then go to the other side of the net and do the same thing?
Yeah, there was a basket. Everything was kept in the guest house. I had a lot of tennis rackets, and sometimes you brought it to the main house, sometimes you left it in the guest house, but usually it was kept there. And there were a few bucket of balls. There were still that you would play with.
So all the tennis equipment was kept in the guest house?
Usually it was kept in the guest house. Sometimes it was kept in the main house, but usually, that morning I think it was in the guest house because I know I had my rackets there.
So that was normal that the tennis equipment would be in the guest house because there was room in the guest house for that sort of thing?
I would say it would be normal.
After hitting these balls around for about 30 minutes, what did you do after that?
Lyle came out.
And what happened?
And he said, you ready? We better get going. Something like that.
This is early in the morning?
8, 9 o'clock.
Now, when he said, are you ready? We better get going. What did that mean to you?
I had a feeling it meant go get the guns.
Had you that night discussed what kind of guns you would get?
Not really, just any handgun. I didn't know really what.
Now, you were familiar with handguns, weren't you?
No, sir.
Had you ever heard of different types of handguns?
Not really. Not really.
When you discussed the guns with the handguns with your brother, did you discuss, well, let's get a .357 or let's get a 9mm?
Definitely not.
No? So you didn't know much about guns?
No.
So when your brother said, let's get going, you knew he meant we got to get the guns, we got to protect ourselves.
Yes.
Is that right? What did you then do?
I sort of said, I got a tournament coming up. I have things to do. I don't really want to do that.
And then what happened?
And then he said, Erik, he convinced me, not really convinced me, he just told me that this was serious and that this may be the next morning, but this was still real. And I said, all right.
And so did you just go as you were attired at that moment to your car, or what happened?
No, I went up to my room to get my wallet. I had some money, and I had some more money in a little book case that I kept money in there.
How did you enter into the main house that morning?
I don't remember.
You don't remember which door you went through?
No, I may simply have just gone through the living room door. I'm not really sure.
The living room, through the front of the house? Toward the front of the house?
No, the back of the house.
The living room door that's comes out into the side yard?
Yes.
So you recall that?
No, that's what I usually did when I came from the guest house, though.
Was the door simply, was it unlocked? Did you have to use any key?
I don't remember going through the door, so I don't remember what was locked and what was unlocked.
So at some point you entered into your house and you went up to your bedroom.
Yes.
And you got some money.
Yeah, I grabbed my wallet, I grabbed some money, and I met Lyle.
How much money did you grab?
I had somewhere around $300, and so I took everything that I had.
And did your brother have a discussion with you that night that you should go and grab your cash because we need it to buy the guns?
That night?
Yes.
You mean the night before?
The night before.
I don't remember that.
So you, on your own, decide that you'd go up to your room and get your cash?
We may have talked about it Friday morning. He may have. I just don't remember.
Now, your brother had a credit card during that period of time, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
He, at some point, did you learn that he had also brought cash with him?
Yes.
After you went upstairs to your bedroom and you got your cash and you came down, did you tell your brother, I got $300, how much do you have? Did you have that kind of discussion?
I may very well have. I don't remember.
Did you at some point decide where you were going to go make your purchase?
Yes.
Okay. Did you look in a phone book, or how did you do that?
No, we figured we'd just go over to the sporting goods store.
Okay. And I believe your brother testified you drove over to the Santa Monica Big Five store?
Yeah, it was on the one right across from the 405, right on the other side of the 405.
Which street was that on?
Santa Monica, I believe.
And so, isn't there a Big Five in Beverly Hills?
No.
There isn't.
No.
So was that the closest Big Five?
Closest Big Five that I knew of.
So whose car did you go in?
Mine.
And who drove?
My brother.
Was that common for your brother to drive your car when you went out together?
Yes.
Okay, so did your brother know where this Big Five in Santa Monica was? Or did you tell
I'm
him?
I'm not sure. I may very well have told him. I don't remember.
So at some point you went to the Big Five in Santa Monica.
Yes.
And you took a look at handguns.
Yes.
Now, what kind of guns were you considering? What kind of handguns were you and your brother thinking about getting? I mean, did you have any idea? Or did you just look at the guns that were in this display and say, well, that one looks good, that one looks good, or how did you do that?
Well, I remember asking the man behind the counter which are real and which are BB guns. You know, if these are real guns or if these are BB guns, and he told me just a little bit about that. This is a real gun. This is a BB gun. And
okay, so you knew nothing about handguns, really?
Really, only what what anyone knows. I didn't know much about it.
Did he show you? Did he show you 22s and 25s and 38s, or was there a pretty big variety of guns that you had? Since you didn't know anything about them, really, did he explain the different sorts of guns kind of to you? Since I guess it was apparent that you and your brother didn't know anything about guns.
No, we didn't.
I think that's compound.
Objection sustained.
Okay.
Raise a question, please.
Now, when you were looking at these guns, was your brother right there with you?
Yes, sir.
You weren't trying to hide anything?
No.
No. So he was right up there with you at the counter looking at these handguns?
Yes.
Were they in a glass case, or were they up on a wall?
They were in the glass case.
Okay. And as you're looking at these guns, could you see a big variety of guns?
I remember seeing different guns in the shelf. I think it was a two-shelf container. I believe so. And there were guns on the top. That's what I remember seeing.
Now, these were handguns that you were seeing? Okay.
Yes.
Now, was the top shelf handguns as well as the bottom shelf?
I can't remember that clearly, but I remember looking through the case at the different guns that he had there.
As you were looking through the case of these handguns, did you have any discussion with your brother that one looks pretty good, or anything like that?
I may have. We were talking with the man. The three of us were just talking. I don't really remember.
Was there any other worker up there? Was there any female workers, or was it just the man that you were talking to?
I just remember the man.
Do you recall what he looked like?
I have no idea what he looked like.
Okay. In any event, do you recall that he showed you certain kind of handguns? For example, did he say this 9mm automatic is a pretty good gun?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
Okay.
I think we were just talking about what the guns were, and we asked if we could buy one now.
Okay.
Something to that
Let me
extent.
ask you this. When you went in to buy the guns, did you just ask the man to tell you about guns since you didn't know anything about it?
No, I remember specifically just looking at them and then asking if these were real.
Right. And what did he say?
He pointed out which ones were and which ones were not.
You're-
I believe the ones that were not were over to the right. The pellet guns or the BB guns, I believe they were over to the right, and the real ones were more in the center where I was. That's my recollection. I could be wrong.
Do you recall seeing, do you know the difference between an automatic and a revolver? You know, handguns? Like the revolver would be the kind that you see on Western movies and
Yes.
the cylinder. Did you see those as well as the other kind that you see in the more recent movies, the what they call an automatic?
I don't remember seeing revolvers. I don't remember. I specifically remember seeing the ones that did not have a revolver.
Okay. Do you recall the man giving you advice on what kind of caliber to get?
I just don't recall.
At some point you picked out a handgun that you thought was appropriate. Is that right?
Yes.
And did your brother also pick out one?
I suppose. I don't remember.
Was it, you suppose, but you don't remember? Was your brother right next to you at
Yes.
this period of time? Do you recall was it a stainless steel silver gun, or was it a blue steel type of gun that you decided on eventually, the handgun?
Blue steel?
There are some guns, I suppose, that you saw in this glass case that were like a silver color, and others that were like what they call a blue steel, or it looks almost like a black colored gun. Do you recall which kind you decided on?
No, I don't.
Okay. Do you recall the caliber that you decided on?
I really don't. It wasn't. As soon as we said that one looks good and that type of thing, we talked about could we get it now? How do you go about buying it? And that's when he told us we had to. There was some sort of a waiting period, and so it wasn't an in-depth discussion.
Now, had your brother also selected one at that point when you selected yours? Did he select one? Did you indicate to him that you needed to buy two, not just one?
Yes.
Okay. So at that point, had your brother also said, that one looks good to me?
I just don't remember.
Do you recall your brother's testimony that about the guns?
Not
At this
really.
Big Five store in Santa Monica?
No, I don't.
You don't remember his testimony on that?
I remember him testifying that we went there. I don't really remember what he said about it.
Do you recall his testimony on September 17th, volume 88, at page 14,583?
No, I can object to the reading of it.
Why don't you paraphrase it first?
Okay. Do you recall that your brother testified in his examination that basically you were actually in the process of buying the guns when you were told you couldn't leave the store without the guns at that point? You had already made your decisions as to which kinds of guns you wanted to buy.
Your Honor, that's confusing.
Why don't you rephrase the question?
Okay, Your Honor.
Couldn't leave the store without the guns?
That's,
Yes. Mr. Menendez, do you recall your brother stating in his testimony that you had basically selected the guns, you were ready to purchase the guns, and then you found out that you couldn't leave the stores with the guns because you had the 15-day waiting period?
I don't remember him testifying to that, but that's roughly what happened.
That's right. Now, you're telling the truth about everything in this case, aren't you?
I'm telling the truth to the best that I can.
Okay. And even though you've lied in the past, you're telling the truth now, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Did you truly go to the Santa Monica Big Five store on the morning of August 18th to buy these handguns?
Definitely.
And
Without a
you
doubt, I did.
You and Lyle did.
Yes.
And you and Lyle actually looked in this case and you selected these guns and you were told you couldn't leave the store with those handguns because there's a 15-day wait.
Yes.
Mr. Menendez, did you know that Big Five stopped carrying handguns in March of 1986?
No, I don't know that.
Now,
Mr. Kuriyama, there were guns there, and we did look at them, and he did say we could not carry them anymore.
Now, after you went to this Big Five in Santa Monica, what happened?
We left.
Where did you go?
We went down to San Diego.
Why did you go down to San Diego?
We were just driving. We didn't know what to do at that point.
At that point, you knew that you couldn't buy handguns, you had to wait 15 days, correct?
Yes.
And you decided to buy shotguns, didn't you?
No, we hadn't. We didn't know what to do. We didn't know what we were going to be able to do.
At some point, how did you find out that you could buy rifles or shotguns rather than handguns?
There was a store that we went to that we decided to go into, and they had all these guns on the rack behind the man up there, and we were talking to the man about it.
Is it your understanding that you have to state that here that you weren't intending to hide your identity, that you were ready, willing, and able to buy these handguns that day, and that because you couldn't wait 15 days, you bought the shotguns?
Your Honor, I'm going to call your question.
Sustained.
You have testified that you had a valid driver's license, correct? Under a different name? It had your own picture on it with a false address?
I don't know if it was a driver's license. It was an ID, I believe, with my picture on it, definitely.
With a false address?
I don't remember the address.
And it indicated you were 21 years old.
I'm not sure if it was 21 or over 21.
Do you recall the name on that ID?
Richard Stevens.
Do you still have that ID?
I don't know.
You have no idea?
I have no idea what I did with it after I got back from Israel.
So you had it during that period of time.
Yes.
And didn't you indicate that it was a DMV?
It was DMV.
Okay. So you didn't have to go to San Diego to buy shotguns. You could have used your fake DMV right here in Beverly Hills, or you even came to Van Nuys to look at a gun shop. You could have done that, couldn't you?
We could have bought them at the...
Objection, argumentative.
Objection sustained, it's also compound. Rephrase the question.
Now, sir, you've indicated that, or I believe your brother testified that once you understood that you couldn't buy the handguns at the Big Five store in Santa Monica, you didn't want to then say, okay, we'll settle on shotguns instead. You went to another store because you didn't want to stay at that store to make the purchase because it seemed kind of fishy, wouldn't it?
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained. Why don't you try to break it down a little bit?
Okay, now. You learned that you couldn't buy the handguns in Santa Monica, correct? Couldn't leave the store with your handguns that you selected, correct?
I learned that you couldn't buy handguns over the counter there. He said that there were guns behind him. There were rifles and there were shotguns behind him. He said, these you can carry with, you can just leave with today. But he said that handguns you can't.
So at that point, you decided not to buy the shotguns or the rifles that you could have bought and take them out that day. You decided it might look a little strange, so we better leave and go to another store.
No, actually that's not what I was thinking at all. I hadn't even thought about shotguns or rifles or something that big because you couldn't carry it around with you. And I didn't understand exactly how I'd be able to protect myself if I didn't have guns.
Do you recall a testimony of your brother that he testified that he decided not to get the guns that you could carry out that day at that store because it would seem kind of strange, so you have to go to a different store?
Objection, Your Honor, misstates the testimony involving the bill.
Rephrase the question, please.
Do you remember having a discussion with your brother that you wouldn't buy the guns that could be gotten on the very day that you purchased them? There's no waiting period. Did you have a discussion with your brother that you shouldn't buy the guns, the rifles or shotguns, at that Santa Monica Big Five store?
No, I know we had that discussion down in San Diego at the first store that we went to.
So after you go into San Diego, or the Santa Monica Big Five store, find out you can't carry away your handguns that day, and you get back into the car,
Yes, sir.
right? You just decide to go. Let me ask you this. Who was driving at that point?
My brother.
At some point, did your brother get on the freeway?
At some point, not immediately. We weren't intending to go down to San Diego right away. We weren't quite sure what we were going to be able to do at that point. And so eventually we decided to go down to San Diego to stay away from the house for the day.
When was that decision made?
At some point when we were driving around.
Where did you drive after you left the Big Five store in Santa Monica?
We drove in Santa Monica. We may have drove to the beach, I don't remember, but we weren't in Santa Monica. We were right across from the 405. That may be Santa Monica. We were driving right into Santa Monica. And so at that point, we decided to turn around and just head down to San Diego.
You just decided San Diego sounds like a good place to buy these guns. Let's go down there?
No, that's not at all what happened.
So you just kind of went with the flow of the traffic and you ended up in San Diego?
No, at that point we were intending to go down to San Diego.
And you weren't intending to go down there so that you could hide the fact that you were buying these guns and use a false identification so the police wouldn't be able to trace those guns to you and your brother?
No, sir. We used my friend's brother's ID. That was definitely not our purpose.
You used your friend's brother's ID?
Yes.
And whose ID is that?
Donovan Goodrow.
And you had your own ID in your own face anyway, with a different name, Stevenson, I believe you said.
Stevens.
You had that ID that you could have used too.
I could have used that. There's no
But it had
question.
your picture on it, so you didn't want that connection to those guns, isn't that right?
No, I could have used the gun. I mean, I could have used that ID, and it probably would have been better. And if I had known that you would need an ID to buy guns, I would have brought that, because that way I definitely would have been able to buy them, because I was the picture on the ID. When going into the Big Five in San Diego, I was a little worried that the lady might say, "This isn't you on the ID," because Donovan looks like me, but he isn't me.
And what are you saying, that you didn't have your ID with you that day?
The Richard Stevens?
Right.
No, I didn't carry around that in my wallet.
But you did carry Donovan Goodrow's in your wallet?
Yes, Donovan Goodrow was an ID that I just used if I was out, needed to go into a nightclub. I had two, so I kept one in my wallet, and I kept the real one in my bedroom.
So you would use the one that doesn't look like you most of the time, so that if someone looked at your ID, they'd say, "Wait a minute, this doesn't look like you. This is Donovan Goodrow's face. This is not Erik Menendez's face."
No, I would
Objection argument.
Overall.
no, I
right?
would use the Richard Stevens most of the time. If I knew, usually if I was going out to a nightclub or something, I knew I was going out there, so I'd go and I'd get the ID and I'd carry it there. But I lost my wallet several months before, and I didn't want to lose this ID, so I didn't want to carry it around
Which
in my
ID?
wallet. The Richard Stevens.
So you would carry the other fake ID,
Yeah,
and that would be with you all the time?
that'd be with me all the time.
Okay, so you had your fake DMV under Stevens, the name of Stevens, with your picture on it. You had Donovan Goodrow's driver's license, and you had your own driver's license.
No, I did not have my driver's license.
What happened to that?
I lost it when I lost my wallet.
When did you lose your wallet?
Many months before that spring.
Before, in the spring? Let me ask you this. In May of 1989, I believe your brother had testified that he gave you the Donovan Goodrow license because you had lost yours?
Yes.
So by May, you had already lost your license?
No, he didn't give it to me because I had lost mine.
What?
He had given it to me because I had lost my Timmy Anderson ID. He was, my cousin of mine, Timmy Anderson, was over 21, and when I lost my wallet, I lost that ID. And so I wanted one to carry around in my wallet just in case I lost my wallet again.
Okay, let's get this straight. You had a fake ID of your cousin, Timmy Anderson.
Yes.
You had a fake ID, Donovan Goodrow.
Not at the same time.
Okay. You had a fake ID of this Mr. Stevens, but with your face on it.
Yes.
And you had your own license.
Not all at the same time, though.
Okay. When did you get the Timmy Anderson license?
I had that for a while. I don't remember when I got it.
Does that Timmy Anderson license have your face on it?
No, Timmy Anderson is a real person. Richard Stevens is not a real person. And so I just used his ID.
Now, Timmy Anderson, what state was that? It was a DMV type of?
It was a real license. It was his license from Illinois.
From Illinois. And he just gave it to you?
Actually gave it to my brother before my brother had turned 21, I believe. I'm not really sure. And then Lyle gave it to me.
Okay, so when was it that you lost your real license, you, and with all your correct identification on it?
Sometime that spring. I don't remember. I know that in July and in June, when I had gotten some tickets, I didn't have it, because I had lost it.
So by at least June, you didn't have your license anymore?
No, definitely not.
Do you recall any time before that you didn't have your license?
I usually did not have my license. Most of my life, if you look back over the tickets that I've gotten, I just did not have my license.
Okay, there were times when you had your license, though.
Very infrequently, but I guess there were times, yes.
So sometimes you would actually have your driver's license, your real driver's license, and you'd maybe leave it at home and get a ticket, and you wouldn't have it in your possession.
No, I almost always carried around in my wallet.
Your real license.
Yes.
Do you recall where it was that you first realized you didn't have your real license? Or did it matter since you had all these fake licenses to go by?
Your Honor, I'm going to object before the question. Also object on the relevance.
Overall.
I didn't use fake licenses when I got a ticket. I didn't have any fake licenses. I had my brother's friend's license. I used to have my cousin's license, and I had this fake DMV ID. When I lost my license, I believe it was when I lost my wallet, but I'm not sure.
When was that? When do you recall first realizing, oh, I don't have my real license?
When do I recall it? When? And what point are you
At what
asking?
point did you look and say, I don't have my license, where's my wallet?
My license wasn't a big concern to me. I was 18 at the time, and I couldn't use my license with anything, so it didn't matter whether I had it or I didn't have it, unless I got a traffic ticket, so I really didn't care.
So you didn't really carry it around with you?
No, it wasn't a big concern to me.
But at some point you did lose it, is that right? That's your
Yes.
testimony? Sometime, well, it was before June, so it was probably like May, or earlier than May, maybe, of '89?
I have to assume so, since I didn't have it when I got a ticket in June. I believe I lost it that spring.
Now, you say that you got a ticket in June,
Yes.
is that right?
Yes.
And you didn't have your license?
No, I did not.
Did you get cited for not having a license with you in June?
Yes, I did.
And is that Vehicle Code Section 12951?
I don't know.
And how do you recall that particular ticket that you got in June of 1989?
I saw it up here.
Okay, are you sure that was June of 1989?
Yes.
And did it say right on the ticket that you didn't have your license with you?
The officer writes it on the ticket.
Okay, so every time you have gotten ticketed by a police officer and you didn't have your license, you would get cited for not having your license, wouldn't you?
No.
You wouldn't.
No.
What
Some
would-
officers would give me a break. If I'd run 2 stop signs and was speeding, I guess he just wanted to give me a break and not cite me for not having my license, or my windows were tinted and didn't cite me for that. Depended on the officer, I guess.
Okay, so there's sometimes that you got stopped that you didn't get cited, even though you couldn't present the officer with the license. He said, nah, forget it.
Yes.
When did that happen?
When the date?
Do you recall?
I know it happened once when I was living in Calabasas. I don't recall the date.
Do you recall, though, that that ever happened to you while you were living in Beverly Hills?
I don't remember.
Would this be an appropriate time to take a break, Chairman?
All right, we'll take a recess. We'll resume at 10 minutes after the hour. Don't discuss this matter with anyone. Don't form any final opinions about it, and we'll resume at 10 minutes after the hour.
Mr. Menendez, after you went to the Santa Monica Big Five store, you indicated that you then went to, what, the Santa Monica Beach?
No. We didn't quite know what to do at that point. We didn't want to go home, and we just wanted to stay out for the rest of the day, so we decided to head down to San Diego.
Why is it that you didn't want to go home, sir?
We just didn't want to be around the house that day. We didn't know what my mother or my dad were up to. We just wanted to stay out for the day.
So you left fairly early in the morning, correct?
I guess.
Well, you indicated that you got up and you hit some balls that morning, 7 to 8 o'clock. And then,
No.
no? Okay, why don't you tell us what happened?
I was hitting balls somewhere between 8 and 9. I'm not exactly positive, somewhere around there, and we left soon after.
So you left the Beverly Hills home soon after 9 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, I would think so, right around there.
Got to the Santa Monica Big Five store at what time?
9:30, 10, maybe somewhere around there.
And do you know what time they open up?
I have no idea.
Okay. But they were open when you were there. I mean, when you got there, you didn't have to wait around for them.
No, they were definitely open, because
About how much time did you actually spend at the Big Five store?
about 15 minutes, I remember, because I remember looking at the guns, and the guy said to me, once he said to me that you couldn't purchase guns over the counter, then we left immediately. So it could not have been more than 10 to 15 minutes.
And that was after you had looked at these guns, these handguns.
Yes, in the last case.
Where did you go from there?
We just drove around for a bit.
Did
We were right next to the 405, or a street or two away from the 405. So we just headed in that direction toward Santa Monica, if that isn't Santa Monica. I don't know where the boundary is. And we just drove right around there, and then we decided to head toward the freeway and go down to San Diego.
Which street did you go down toward Santa Monica, or west? Did you actually go west after going to the Big Five store?
West is
Towards the beach?
toward the beach. We were very close to the 405, and I believe it was Santa Monica, so Santa Monica Street. So I guess we just continued going down Santa Monica Street.
Could it have been Wilshire? One of the big streets?
One of the big streets.
And did you head west?
Yeah, that's the direction toward.
Did you tell your brother where to go?
No.
So he was just driving.
Yes.
Were you looking for other gun stores?
No, at that point we knew that we couldn't buy handguns, so we didn't know what to do. We didn't think we'd be able to get any gun whatsoever.
Now, at some point, did you go to the beach that day?
No.
Did you go to the Santa Monica Pier?
No, we didn't leave the car in Santa Monica.
Except for when you went to the Big Five store.
Well, we went to another store before that.
Before what?
Before the store in San Diego, we had gone to another store before then.
Okay. How much later did you go to that second store?
After we got down to San Diego, 2 hours, however long it takes to get down there.
Okay, let's take it back before you started to head down to San Diego. You were in the Santa Monica area, correct?
Yes.
And you were driving around.
Yes.
Where were you going?
We weren't going any place in particular. We were sort of bewildered. We didn't know what to do. So we just sort of drove around talking. Should we go home? Should we stay out? What can we do? At that point, we just decided to get away for the day and just head down to San Diego. Lyle had been there several times.
When you left that morning, you actually saw your brother come to the tennis court, correct?
Yes.
And you left directly from the tennis court. Well, actually, you said that you went and got your money.
I went upstairs to get my wallet.
Did you see anybody in the house, the main house?
No, I didn't see my mother.
Did your brother ever come into the main house when you went in to get your money?
I have no idea.
Did you ever see him in the main house?
I remember pulling out of the driveway with him, so that's about it.
So when you entered the main house, you didn't see him, and you came out of the house and you saw your brother then.
Yeah, I don't know if he went into the main house.
Did you ever hear any discussion between your parents that morning inside the main house?
No,
Didn't see your parents at all in the main
I
house?
didn't see anyone in the main house.
So you left, went to the Big Five, and you're driving around in Santa Monica for a while. Then what happened?
And then we decided to head down towards San Diego.
Now, who made that decision?
Lyle did.
And where were you when that decision was made?
Exactly the street?
Yes. Do you recall approximately where you were?
I don't remember. I know at one point we were on Ocean Avenue.
That's right up close to the beach?
That's close to the beach. That's right in Santa Monica. I don't remember where we made the decision.
At some point, you had a discussion, and you were wondering what you were going to do that day.
Yes.
And whose idea was it to go to San Diego?
I believe it was my brother's. I mean, I could be mistaken. I don't know. I mean, we went down and around Santa Monica. At some point, we just decided to head down towards San Diego because Lyle had been there many times.
Yeah, I think he indicated that he was familiar with the area.
I don't
because
know
had
if
been
he
to
was
a tennis
familiar.
tournament.
Yes, he had been there several times.
Were there any tennis tournaments that either you or your brother participated in the Valley area or the Beverly Hills area?
I used to live in the Valley, so...
Were there tennis
Yes.
tournaments there?
Mm-hmm.
So you were familiar with the Valley as well,
Yes,
and you could have easily gone to gun stores in the Valley.
sure.
Do you know what time it was when you first started to head towards San Diego?
No, I don't.
You have any idea at all?
In order to have an idea, I'd have to be right on the idea of when we headed toward the gun store or the sporting goods store. So it was soon after that, maybe 10 to 20 minutes after we had left the sporting goods store.
So about perhaps 10, 20 in the morning, you decided to go to San Diego?
Perhaps.
And did you have to gas up that day?
I do not remember at all if we had to gas up.
Do you remember if you stopped for lunch at any place on the way down to San Diego?
On the way down, I know we ate in San Diego. I don't remember stopping on the way down, no.
Did you have lunch in San Diego?
Yes.
So you actually went to San Diego sometime in the mid-morning. You headed down to San Diego.
Yes, before noon, I think. I'm
And it
pretty
took-
sure before noon.
It took how long to get there?
I don't know. I'm not real good at these times, but maybe 2 hours.
Once you got down to San Diego, would you explain for the juries what you and your brother did?
At that point, we had decided to check and see if we could get these other guns. we wanted to get something, and so we headed toward a gun store. I think I may have even looked up the gun store in the phone book to see what gun store there was around there, and we headed toward it was not a sporting goods store. I believe it was just a gun store, and at that point we asked if we could take a look at the rifles and the shotguns.
Do you recall where this was?
In San Diego.
Where in San Diego?
It was near the place where we bought the other guns.
And you went into that gun store
Yes.
and you discussed with the clerk the purchase of a shotgun?
Yeah, I believe it was an older man behind the counter. It was a wooden place, similar like this. It was wooden, and he had racks of guns behind it. And he took one of the guns down and was showing it to us a little.
You at that point didn't know anything about guns.
And I knew very little.
So did he show you a Mossberg shotgun?
I don't know what the name of the gun was.
But in any event, he showed you a shotgun?
Yes.
And was your brother right up there with you?
Yes, he was next to me.
Did you discuss the shotgun?
I believe so.
What was the discussion?
The discussion was how it worked. I remember he saying once something to do when a burglar comes to your house and why these are best for home protection because you can make a noise with it or something and it'll just scare the burglar off. Something to that extent.
Was it a pump shotgun?
Yes, it was.
And you ended up getting two pump shotguns, correct?
Yeah, we ended up, yes.
Was the pump shotgun that was shown to you at this earlier store the same model as what you ended up buying?
I don't remember.
When you went to the second store, did you simply look at the shotgun, a similar shotgun to what you had seen in the earlier store and say, I want two of those?
No.
You actually had to discuss the shotguns at the Big Five in San Diego as well, is that right?
Yes.
You discussed that with the female clerk?
Yeah, it was a female clerk.
And did she explain to you how the shotgun worked?
Yes, she took it apart. It came in a, she took out a box that had white styrofoam in it, and she took it apart. She took apart a section of it, and just showed us how it worked, and I believe there was even a white diagram sheet.
Did she show you how to pull out the plug?
She took out the plug.
She took out the plug
Yes.
of one gun.
I don't remember. I remember her showing it to me.
Okay, what did she do exactly? Do you recall how she did that?
Yeah, there was a twist, something that you had to twist in the back. She says you put in extra 2 shells or something like that if you take out the plug, and it was something in that order. And so she twisted it off. She showed us, and we said that's fine.
When she twisted it off, did she actually pull the plug out so that you could see it?
I believe so. I believe she took it off. I know I didn't take off the plug, so I remember discussing mechanisms of the gun with her. So I assumed that we had to. She had to have actually pulled it out. I remember her taking it out because I remember it was right below where the barrel was.
What did that look like?
It was black.
And how long and what shape was it?
I don't remember.
Was it cylindrical?
I believe so.
So she pulled it out of one gun, is that right?
She was showing us one gun, so yeah, I guess yes.
Now, was that one of the 2 guns that you eventually purchased?
I don't remember.
You ended up buying 2 guns in any event.
Yes.
And did the 2 of you pull out the plugs to your shotguns?
I definitely did not.
You didn't have to do that to yours?
No, I wasn't even sure exactly how it worked. I know you twisted off something on the bottom, and there was some sort of a plug, but I'm not even completely sure what it looked like.
What time was it that you arrived at that San Diego Big Five store?
4 or 5, maybe 6 at the latest.
It took about 2.5 or 3 hours to get to San Diego. That was your testimony, correct?
Somewhere between that, maybe 2.5 hours.
And you left about, say, 10:20 in the morning? Is that about right?
Yeah, I guess.
So you arrived between 1 and 1:30 in the afternoon?
Yes.
And you went to this gun store, the first one,
Yes.
and you stayed for a while the man was showing you different shotguns.
Yes.
And how long were you there?
Not very long. 10, 15 minutes, maybe slightly longer than that, because in Santa Monica we didn't. He never actually took anything out of the glass case, so it was a little bit longer than that, maybe 20 minutes.
Now, why is it that you didn't buy any guns at the first store?
Because once he asked us, or he either asked us or he told us that we needed an ID, we needed to fill out some forms. I think something like that. But I knew that I needed my ID. I didn't have my driver's license. So Lyle and I discussed it and we said, we better not do it here. It's suspicious.
You knew you didn't want to be connected to the guns that you purchased at that point.
No, not at all. We wanted to be able to get the guns. And if I suddenly, it looked really weird when he said, you need an ID. And I said to Lyle, I need to talk to you. And then we sort of went away from the counter and talked, and I told Lyle, I don't have my driver's license, and this is what I have. We didn't want to go back and say here because we figured he might realize that that person wasn't me. So we just decided to go eat and do it someplace else.
Now, your brother Lyle had a driver's license, didn't he?
Not with him, no.
He didn't have a license with him either?
I believe his license was suspended.
That was his California license?
Yes,
Didn't he have a New Jersey license?
I guess.
In fact, did you also have a New Jersey license?
No, I did not.
You did not.
I did not.
Did you ever have a New Jersey license?
Never.
So you left that gun store. Did you go directly to the Big Five from there?
No, I believe it was a Big Five, a Big Boy that we ate at. It's one of those Big Boy restaurants or Denny's or something like that. We stayed there for a while and just talked. We were trying to waste up the day and spend up the day, so we just ate.
So you ate at the Big Boy, had lunch there,
Yes.
and then after you finished, then you went to the Big Five in San
It
Diego.
was after that. I don't know if it was immediately after that, but it was after that. Because I remember I was practicing Donovan's signature and thinking that, geez, I hope it's not too big of a deal to buy this, and she doesn't have to go through all kinds of a checking process like the guy said you had to do with the handguns. So I just was practicing.
Now you got the Donovan Gaudreau license about May of 1989, correct?
When I was back in New Jersey, it was May, I suppose. Yes.
And you had used his license before.
Yes.
Had you ever signed anything using his license?
No.
What did you use his license for?
Just to get into a nightclub. I used to dance, and so I used to get into the nightclub to dance.
And did you use his license pretty often during those 3 months?
No. Usually I knew specifically when I was going to go use it, so I just grabbed the one from my house, the one that had my picture on it.
After the Big Boy, you then went to the Big Five, correct?
Sometime after that, yes.
Well, was that the next stop that you guys had on this journey?
I don't remember.
So you don't recall whether or not you went anywhere in between Big Boy and Big Five?
Exactly.
You recall sometime, though, at 4 or 5, I believe you indicated, you got to the Big Five store.
Sometime around there.
And you both entered the store.
Yes.
And what happened?
And we went up to the counter. It was to the right, like the other store in Santa Monica. You went through the doors and you went up. The counter was toward the right on the other wall. And we just started looking at the different guns there. And we asked the lady about them and what the difference between, I don't know if she had different types or, she had different types, but different, I don't know what they call it in guns, sizes or, and so we just were taking a look at one and she was showing us it.
The two of you were together,
Yes.
and the lady that came in to testify is the one that was showing the two of you?
I didn't recognize her, but if that was her, then that was her. I know it was a lady.
And she showed the two of you the shotguns.
Yes.
And were you together at all those times? When
At the time she was showing us the gun, I know we were together. Yes.
And you decided, after some discussion, to buy a particular shotgun?
After some discussion with the lady?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so you didn't know what kind of shotgun you wanted as you entered the Big Five store?
No, I had no idea.
When you decided that you wanted the particular shotguns that you ended up purchasing, the Mossberg shotguns, was your brother right next to you?
When I purchased them, no.
Yes. So after you decided that you're going to buy this type of shotgun, is that when your brother left your side?
No. With this lady, it was a little bit of a longer process because I had to fill out some forms. And while I was doing that, Lyle went off and did something. It took a little while, but I remember, I don't know if they let me carry these guns in the box to the cash register. I don't know if they gave them to me there or the lady came over and gave it to me, but I know I was at the cash register there alone.
Did you see the lady go and get a second box containing a shotgun after you saw her pull the plug or demonstrate how to pull the plug of the one shotgun that she demonstrated for you?
I don't remember. I know on the one gun she showed us how to put the most ammunition you can put in the gun. Whether she brought another gun, I guess if I carried the gun to the counter, I mean to the cash register, then she would have had to, but I don't remember.
Your brother was there when she demonstrated how to pull out the plug to the shotgun.
Yes.
So he saw how to do that.
Yes.
After she pulled this plug out of the shotgun, did she simply leave the plug out or did she put it back in?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Did she put the gun back into its box, the original box?
I believe so, because I can't imagine they would have let me walk out of the gun store with two guns in my hand and not in a box. So I assume I had to have carried it out in a box.
So is it your recollection that the guns, one of them may have had the plug pulled, but the other one, you didn't see anybody pull that plug, is that right?
I know I didn't pull the plug in the gun that I had. Whether in Lyle's gun the plug was pulled or not, I have no idea.
So you made the purchase of the two shotguns,
Yes.
correct? About between 4 and 5 p.m.
Somewhere around there.
And then what did you do?
And then it was getting late. We decided to head toward back to LA at sometime right around there.
This was a Friday night, what about 5 o'clock?
I guess it was 5 o'clock. I can't remember the exact time.
I'm going to expect you to start the answer of speculation.
At some point in that afternoon, you started to drive back toward Los Angeles?
Yes.
Heavy traffic?
I don't remember.
Lyle was, your brother was still driving at this time?
Yes.
Did you just drive straight to your house from there?
I don't remember. I remember pulling up at the house at night, so maybe. I guess it would depend on what time I left the store.
But you don't recall going to any other location between the time that you went to the Big Five store in San Diego and arriving home in Beverly Hills?
No, I don't recall that.
At some point after arriving, did either of you do anything with those shotguns?
Yeah, I took them up to my room.
You took both
No,
shotguns?
mine.
Did you know at that time that your brother had purchased ammunition?
Yes, I had loaded 2 shells in my gun on the way up, back to Los Angeles.
And did you see your brother do likewise?
He was driving. I didn't see it.
So while your brother was driving, you took the shotgun out of the box and loaded it.
Yes,
Were you in the back seat or the front seat?
the front seat.
Okay. Did you, at any time that night, see your brother load his gun also?
No, I did not.
When you got home, what did you do?
We knocked on the door. The door was locked.
What happened?
My mom came down and opened it,
Then what happened?
and she told us that the fishing boat trip was changed from the morning to the late afternoon or afternoon.
That Friday night?
That Friday night she said that, yes.
Did she say, gee whiz, Eric, why do you have that gun in your hand?
No, I didn't have the gun in my hand at that time. It was after that conversation that we realized something was going on with the fishing boat, that it all of a sudden was changed the night before and after this Thursday blow-up. So I went back out and talked to Lyle. And it's after that that I went up and brought the shotgun up.
You had already thought that you were going to be killed before that. That's why you bought the shotguns, correct?
Yeah, we believed my parents were up to something, and in case they were, I wanted to have the gun.
Didn't you testify that when you arrived at your home that night that you took your shotgun to your room?
Yes, I did.
But you then testified that you knocked on the door because the door was locked and your mother came to the door, correct?
I did both. I first knocked on the door to get into the house because the door was locked. And after the conversation with my mom, Lyle and I then went back outside.
And at that time, your gun was already loaded.
Yes.
And did you have it in the back seat or in the trunk or where?
I don't remember. I'm sure I had it under some clothes after I loaded it.
Now, your Escort is a hatchback, or was a hatchback.
Yes.
And does it have the kind of cover that rises as a hatch rises?
It had the cover because eventually I got too many clothes in the car that I had to remove the cover because the cover was blocking it.
The pile of clothes was too high for the cover to be on the back, attached to the back?
Yes.
So when you went out after talking to your mother that Friday night upon returning from San Diego, you then directly went back outside and got your shotgun.
No, I had a conversation with Lyle first.
Where was he?
He was with me.
No, but you had a conversation with your mother. Where did you have a conversation with your brother?
Outside after we had talked to my mother.
So you and your brother then went to the front door. Your mother came to the door? Is that
Yes,
right?
the door was locked.
And did both of you have a conversation with your mother?
Yes,
You were standing there at the front door.
right inside the foyer. She said, and that's when she said the fishing boat trip was changed.
Okay. After she gave you that information, what did you do?
We went back outside to the car.
And where did she go?
She went back up to her room, I guess. The foyer was dark.
No lights on?
No, there were no lights on at that time.
So she came out of darkness to...
No, she came out of her room.
How do you know that?
because I remember seeing the light down the hallway of the room, in her bedroom.
Her room is upstairs, correct?
Yes.
And you saw that from the front door?
It isn't like a normal house. The foyer is a 2-story foyer, and there's a balcony, and the bedroom is right behind the balcony.
So you rang the doorbell,
I guess we rang the doorbell, yes.
and you see your mother coming down the stairs?
I don't remember. I just remember talking to her in the foyer and knowing that the light was on in her bedroom because the door was open.
And you, your father was home that day as well, right? That night?
I had assumed that he was home. I don't remember now.
Did you see him any time Friday?
I never saw him on Friday.
Did you or Lyle make any calls back home during that Friday excursion?
I don't know.
You don't know if you did or not?
No, I don't remember doing so.
Now, what was the reason why you didn't want to go back to the Beverly Hills house on Friday?
Because we just didn't want to be around my parents. If my dad went to work, then that was great, but my mom was home and we didn't know what my dad was up to. We just wanted to stay away and talk and not be at the house.
Did you know that your father had gone to work on Friday?
I didn't know what my father had done.
You didn't know because you never talked to him that day?
I did not talk to him that day.
Never saw your parents until you got home from San Diego?
I never saw my mom until I got home from San Diego.
Did you hear your brother testify that he knew that your dad, your father, had gone to work that day and that upset him?
If he testified to it, then he knew that. I had no idea.
How would he have known that if he was with you all that time?
Objection calls for speculation.
It's a good place to break, Your Honor.
All right, this is an hour. We'll recess until 1:30. Don't discuss this matter with anyone. Don't form any final opinions about it. We'll resume at 1:30. We have both juries present and all other participants in the trial as well. One of the attorneys, ladies and gentlemen, has had a sudden medical emergency in the family, and the attorney has to take care of it. So, unfortunately, and it's one of those things that does happen, as we've seen during the trial, that things that we cannot anticipate do occur and occasionally interfere with the continuous progress of the trial, but we have to deal with it as it occurs, and it's occurred now, so I want to accommodate that need and permit the counsel to take care of the situation. So what I'm going to do is, in a moment, recess the proceedings for the balance of the day.